Hey, YouTube! Get ready to rock. Get ready to go. Gotta turn out the floor. Gotta keep those fires burning. Gotta keep those engines clean. Gotta make them sound loving. You got the best you've ever seen. Cause I'm a pizza guy. Burning up the town. Pizza guy. Don't need no life preserver. Don't need no one to hold me down. Heat seeker. I don't know ever played it. Heat seeker isn't one of AC/DC's greatest hits. WMCMPS. See, I just started drinking. Hey Dorothy, hey Scott, how's it going? Hey Alex. Just finished my dinner 30 seconds ago, so not really thought of it in yet, not starting the bucket yet. I think I normally go on a couple of minutes early, but I needed that couple of minutes early to finish my sausages and mash. And why I was playing Heat Seeker, I don't know. Oh, Kit Kats! I've rearranged especially for you this week. Hey Andy! Hey Aunt Wales Malco, you did a blasphemous thing. You bought an Epiphone Les Paul. Number 2. Oh. Cool Kit Kats. Which one? If you had to play, you got a chance to play a gig. It's like I do want to play a solo, and it's a song you know, and you know you're going to be great at it. Here's your choice of guitars. Which one are you taking? You can't use those ones on the ground there because they're not tellies. It's a fine bottle this week. I was going to say that. Damn it. I was going to say you bought a Harley Benton. So, I had a sale on in Curiosity. So, what kind of Harley Benton did you buy? I'm interested in this. I mean, I'm tempted to... I'm going to end up with them again. I'm going to end up buying one. As long as it was a cheap one. I think they're all cheap. But the one that really pissed me off the Harley Benton was that Fusion Telecaster I had. It's a Fusion Telecaster you bought in it. The one with all the expensive looking spec lists. Interesting. Black one. Aye. That one's got a Floyd Rose on it. So maybe that's a wee bit less Telecastery for you. Oh. I've got a heat seeker. I'm going to tell someone else that I'm enjoying playing Heat Seeker. What a great core verse. Hey, Gareth. An ESP looking with EMG retroactive 70s in it. Lovely blue steel like a PRS made in Indigenous Cork factory. Well, we'll see how we get on. It could be interesting. It doesn't sound like the sort of guitar I like, being a PRS-y one. I don't really know that much about ESP apart from the LTD ones either. I do have a Kramer that was built by ESP in Japan, but I don't have any. And I've got my baby metal guitars, an LTD. It was an Alex Lahio one, which I bought for 100 quid, and then chopped it up, made it into a baby metal guitar before realising that actually that guitar was worth 700 quid. Oops, isn't worth 700 quid now. Hey Scott from Baltimore. Is it sunny? Wow, we've been pissing the rain. Man, the roads are closed. I'm ice it well. okay, it's if you're walking, that's it's shit. It's about what, a mile, 2 miles to civilization from here in that direction, but that's where the floodplain is for the Kelvin. I haven't been, but I've seen photos. Folk on my one of my favourite Facebook pages is the Milton of Campsie Village something, where it's like folk talking about road closures and I found this cat and stuff like that. That's where I got all that Skeletrics. Oh, there's two Bucky shops. Don't worry, they're not that far away. They're in that direction. But fucking $8.99 for a bottle of Bucky. I know that because I was in earlier on today, and to get a bottle of Bucky, and ended up buying food and cans of juice and crisps and stuff. And then it was after I'd paid, I went, oh, can I get a bottle of Bucky as well after I'd already paid? And it was $8.99. That seems expensive. Well, maybe maybe you were just lucky. But people do say. Maybe you do get good ones. Do you remember Bucky being £2.35? My God, you're old. I don't remember that. I remember it always being no. Because I remember I had a tenner for the weekend, and that would buy me a bottle of Bucky and a bottle of Mad Dog and 10 fags. So I think Bucky was maybe a fiver. Mad Dog was £4. Fags were £1, something like that, maybe. Mad Max Waterworld still breakdown. Oh well, not quite as much as that. A bit more Mad Maxy. Not Mad Mal. That's why where Mad Malco came from. Because obviously Mad Max 2 is awesome. In fact, Mad Max 2, this is going to be pretty sacrilegious. I might like that Fury Road one better because it's amazing. Didn't really enjoy it the first time I watched it because nothing really happens in it, but you just enjoy looking at it. One of the most beautiful films I've ever seen. Chiseling away at the headstock of a cheap Dean ZZ Playmate to install a Floyd nut. $8.99 is expensive. Yes, for Bucky. God, damn right. Chiseling, what he wants a Dremel. I don't know if mine's lying about. There's a Dremel and there's an attachment you can get for a Dremel, which is meant for cutting metal. It's kind of like seeing Total Recall when they've got the things for drilling. It kind of looks a bit like that. And that's what I use for all routing and shit. It's great. Just on wood and stuff. It goes in fire if you do it too long, but I mean, it's good. £2.35 and nobody drank it. Is that because what I heard about? Scott was talking about this, and so was Alan, the drummer, and the Sabbath. And after the end, hair lacquer and milk was apparently the thing. Back when Bucky was £2, you could buy some sort of mad hair lacquer, and then you poured it in milk, and that's what apparently you used to drink to get fucked. 100 Peter SG Junior, one high frat out at the top, but nice enough, cost less than a second-hand one. I suppose. I mean, the SG Junior, it's one of those ones. Well, no, not is it a bolt-on neck? So it was a set neck. But if you're, because then the neck's got to be put on right. Whereas if it's bolt-on neck, you can move it if it isn't. I suppose that's kind of why when I was in China, I was buying Telecasters, because if the bridge is in the wrong place, you can kind of move it a fair amount, unbolt it and move it without really fucking anything up. And if the neck's not on straight, you can just unbolt it and pull it back on again. That was my thinking. Well, interesting. Yeah, but why was it called German Banjos? I got too far in that before. I've never tried Scots Mac, but the SG Junior is interesting. Sort of burgundy mist sort of thing. Looks very boutique. Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe I will be corrected when I will change my mind if I get a decent Harley Benton in. I've just had, maybe it's only because I only ever see ones that there's something wrong with them. That's why I've got them. It's not like, there's something wrong with this guitar. You go, oh, what's happened to it? And you can fix it. Whereas like a Harley Benton, it's like, you put the bridges fucking on like this. It's like, It's not going to be a factory issue. It's going to be a something's happened to it or something's worn out. It should be called a cheeky monkey. High fret stop. I mean, you're not doing bad. I don't know. Amp Wales. It depends what you're used to, I suppose. I mean, they can be all right. It's just that I'm used to Japanese guitars, and you're kind of paying the same. Well, would you say you paid 280 quid? That's not. I've paid more than that for a guitar. I think I've paid more than that for 2 guitars, maybe 3 in total of all the guitars I've ever bought. I think I've maybe bought one to sell on sort of thing, but never actually. I don't like expensive guitars. Boot polishing milk. Really? Is that one of those things that where it's like, same with the hair lacquer? It's not alcohol. It's just some mental chemical that fucks your brain up. If you're like poppers or sniffing glue or something. Is it that kind of thing? Maybe I don't know. Hey, Joachim, for the country of darkness means 6 months ahead. Autumn, winter, Sweden. Yeah. Sort of stay for it, but nice to be. Well, cheers for coming. Yeah, we don't get it as dark as you. What time is it getting dark for you just now, Joachim? It's pitch dark now, obviously. It just seems it doesn't seem that long ago that it was like, still the sun was still out at 10 o'clock at night. Oh, those are 25% off sale. There's some proper cheap things on there. I don't think I'll buy anything. An East Coast telly, Cream and Pond, 120. I don't think they cost much more than that new. The East Coast ones. Have I played one? I've seen one. I bought a guitar. What guitar was it I bought? And the reason they were selling their old guitar was because they'd bought a new East Coast Telecaster. And it was like, I can't remember what it was I bought. It was something awesome though. And up here, it's great. Oh, brilliant, cool. There's your 40 quid for your whatever it was I bought. Because it needed new strings or, something like that. Hey, J-Pax, you're still alive. How's your swelly hand? I'll just tell everyone that you've got a swelly hand. Which is going the same colour as my t-shirt. I don't know. I feel a wee bit dirty buying something from Harley Benton, I think. Although something like an SG Junior. The problem is, I don't know. There's not honestly really. I don't know. There's not really any guitars I don't have that I want. Really, any of them. Hey, Mr. Whitesnake, how's it going? Yeah, no, I mean, obviously that'll change. I do remember before I even moved to this house, in my last house, that the only guitar that I reckoned I didn't have was a Washburn A20, which would match my Washburn B28 string bass. I ended up finding other ones. So there's obviously ones there, but there's not really anything. If you figure it was shite, send it back. I think a lot of people do that. You hear about people buying 3 Harley Benton's and then just keeping the best ones and selling them back. Do you know what I mean? Bought Dave Simpson's music Strat the other day, Legacy series, for £40. I mean, when you get to the point of starting paying, £40 for a guitar, if it works, you've done all right. I'm not against cheap guitars. I'm more against the ones that any ones you ever see me being really nasty about are, well, okay, there's that, what's that Epiphone SL? That's unacceptable. I think they're about 120 quid, but I like the Les Paul Special, the sort of bolt-on neck, just got 2 knobs, very simple, basic, roughly Les Paul shape. They're pretty good. I like them. I don't know how much they are now. They used to be 110 quid. I think they're probably now about 150, maybe more than that. They're all right, but that SL one was just atrocious. I'm not talking about, guitars that I don't like. There's plenty of guitars I don't like. Scott there's got a couple. It's like he's got a Telecaster, a Fender one. I don't like it, and it's nothing to do with it. I mean, it plays fine. Everything, I just don't like it for some reason. And same with he's got a Jackson flying. I don't like Randy Rhoads type V shape. I just don't think it looks cool. I've never pictured myself playing one, so I just don't want one. even if it is a really good guitar. Whereas I'm looking at ones, you know, that are, you know, things like that Epiphone SL. It was pish. It really was. Kind of almost Dan Electro-y, but not good. Like a Dan Electro's made of really cheap stuff, but things that you shouldn't be able to make a bridge out of just one bent piece of aluminium, but it works. And I kind of like that. Whereas that Epiphone SL was a terrible guitar. Oh, You'll Come Into Darkness. Is that not a really bad Star Trek film? Hey, Space Monkey. Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm high enough up. There's a big floodplain there. Where I would be flooded. And if my car wasn't working, it's a long wade to civilization. Did research? It wasn't your black metal mod. It was churches. It was Norway. Did you see some of the churches they burnt down though? I looked up black metal at one point. I've actually got a West Tone Pantera, which is apparently a big thing for, I don't know, whichever the big black metal band was. The lead guitarist, the main guy, I think he got killed himself or ate himself or something. Played a West Tone Pantera, so apparently they're quite big for that. But the churches, I mean, I do get the dislike for them, but I mean the actual architecture of the churches they burnt down looked fucking amazing, made of wood, but like pure elaborate, mad, beautiful buildings. It's a shame what they meant, you know. But obviously they're religious folk coming in and using their money to build things like that. You know, I totally get that side of it. I think that's why they're very anti-Christians in like Slayerland, was that Brazil and stuff like that, because of missionaries going in and doing their stuff. Dan Electro are. The problem with Dan Electro is Dan Electro are not the price they should be. I had a few from that guy in the Bucky Rage, and I did enjoy them, but they were. He's like, they were quite cheap. They were 250 quid new though, and now they're worth more than that. Now this is 10, 15 years ago. They're now, you know, when you're looking at a Dan Electro, it shouldn't be 400 or 500 quid, really. If they were $100, 150 new, totally, but they're not. They're expensive. It's really annoying. Honor Telly 40, Westfield SG50. Oh, there you go. And both of them might be better than the Harley Benton, but we don't know. We don't know. Selling bootleg J-Packs. She's on. She was here a minute ago. I was like, right, so you just missed it out. I was actually thinking of doing one just to see if it could be possible, because it doesn't look that hard. Pick and put. With a spray paint, easy. But I'll only be able to use the 6 colours of spray paint I've got, and they're random. But there was a point where you could pick up a Dana for 150. Maybe second hand, you could maybe have got them. I sort of remember them being that sort of price. It's just maybe if you've got tons of good, no, you're me. You know, I could maybe pick them up, but it's just you're talking about 150 quid. I mean, you know, my Epiphone SG was only £200 brand new. So it's 150 for a Dan Electro, or you can get like an SG, which has got like, you know, it's wood and stuff rather than being. What's the new Gould like? It seems okay, to be honest. I actually took it out of the car earlier on today. It's just been sitting in the car. I keep forgetting about it, sitting in the passenger seat. So I need to have a look at it. Oh, when will we see the Panda JPEGs? Well, it needs to get another MOT first, so it'll be February maybe. I was thinking about it, and Jennifer was talking about it. I think she's gone now, but she was talking about it. She likes being a bit more incognito. She's getting some spooky, creepy weirdos talking to her online. Yeah, not like you lot. You're all nice, spooky, creepy weirdos. But yeah, no, quite. But that's what happens when you get like 15,000 followers. It's like you get 100 times as much chance of getting weirdos. Hey, Pontiac, how's it going? I've seen a J-Packs and a Steve Vai as well. I don't think she would do it that way. I've thought about. I mean, I've got. You've seen my attempt at a swirl. It's like it's not. There's something sitting on top of it, so I'm just pulling it out. There you go. There you go. That was my attempt at a swirl. Yeah, Joachim, look, it's an Ibanez blazer. But basically, what happened was all the paint stuck to the bottom. Although I have done swirls that worked. It's not really. I don't class the swirl, even when it's done properly, as art. Really, as opposed to actually being like an abstract art form, it's kind of a process rather than an art thing. Spooky weirdos, hey, they drink pumpkin spice. Yeah, the dreaded MOT, but I better fucking get it this year, although my brakes are goosed. But that was my my MOT this year. Next year. This year was cost more than the car cost me. So I was like, right, I'll just buy another Panda. I had a look, and Pandas have doubled in price. So I was looking at Pandas that had more mileage than mine and were like 4 years older than mine because I bought mine 4 years ago and they were twice the price. Oh. Pontiac driver in the driveway. Yo. We never got Pontiacs over here. Think me, Night Rider's a Pontiac, isn't he? Pontiac Firebird. Yeah, but it's high class. High class. I don't know about. I don't think you're particularly high class, but high class weirdo. Well, we can all be happy with that. It's good being weird. Still here, yeah, Mr. White Snake. Maybe get a JPACs to do your tarp. Did you see that new Bonamassa Epiphone SG? £1,400 for an Epiphone with Jump the Shark. That's amazing. I do know they did an Explorer. Is it just what happens when you give like one of these Korean factories and tell them to make one exactly the same as the original Gibson one because they can do it, whereas Gibson can't? Is that why it's a £1,400 guitar? I mean, to be honest, I'm not spending £1,400 cab. I mean, how good is that going to be? I mean, £1,400, maybe not quite that. A wee bit more, and you could probably get a 60s SG. I think for £1,400 you could get a 70s one, like a Gibson. Hey Ian, how's it going? I don't know. I mean, that is the one guitar of all the vintage, dream guitars and all that. I would like a late 60s SG special, the one with P90s in it. The Pete Townsend, Tony Iommi, etc. One of them possibly because I've got the bass that matches. Maybe something like that. But even then, it's not crazy money. The last one I saw was like 1,500 quid. A few modifications. It's like didn't have the original bridge and all that. Some dents in it, but I could maybe see myself with one of them as something that's if I was ever going to buy an expensive guitar. But I don't, not really that likely. Can I see the Explorer and the Flying V thing because it's an exact replica of a real guitar made from uncommon wood? Yeah, but still, you're going to pay. Basically, I'm not. I mean, if a guitar's going to cost £1,000, I'm going to buy it. It's got to be the best guitar I've ever played, and I just don't think you're really going to get one like that that's going to be pure amazing for that amount of money. Oh, I'm good. Cheers, Ian. SG triple. Oh, so it's not actually. It's the triple pickup's it's a Les Paul, isn't it? It's still called a Les Paul for a couple of years. Hey, Joe V. Hey, Irish Stew. Most I've ever spent on a guitar was $350. After that, you're just paying for a label. Well, I'll tell you, the most I've ever spent on a guitar is $350. That's what I paid for my Gibson SG. The most expensive that in this particular thing, I am counting it as a guitar. I said guitar, not bass guitar. I did spend $430 on my Schecter P-Bass. I mean, not saying it wasn't worth it. And the Gibson SG. And then the next one down was $335 for my Schecter Telecaster because it matched the bass. Kind of looks like that. And then I've never spent that ever since. I just don't think maybe I'm not good enough, or I'm not good enough to notice, or I just disgusted by the fact that how expensive guitars are. £1,400 Epiphone. Hey, Gas, how's it going? That's like a £40 fish supper. Fair enough. I mean, it's like, the thing is, I bet you could easily buy a £40 fish supper if you really wanted it to. Hey, Dorothy, Dorothy's having a dinner, a spoon-fed her porridge with a spoon. Okay, well, that's how you spoon feed. Repeats the name of that tune. Music is therapy. We had a case TV. Wow. Aye. £1,400 is high-end Japanese and mid-price American money to me. I don't think it's high. I would have said it would be high-end Japanese you would get for £1,400. I mean, I think you're not. Well, because I mean, I don't know. Someone mentioned ESP earlier on. You ever looked up how much an ESP guitar costs? Like new. Aye. It's like even brought out another range. So you get the LTD goes up to like £1,500, and then they brought out what E2, I think they're called, which are like £1,500 to £5,000, and then ESP are after that. So it depends what you mean by high. Hey, Dunkwack! Bought an Epiphone SG for £100 during the week, planning on selling it for £250 for a nice profit. Can't really argue with that, I suppose. I thought Mary Ford had a. You're not. No. Is Mary Ford not the woman who had the white Strat? The triple pickup SG with the whammy? You're not thinking of Sister Rosetta Thorpe? Is that her name? Something like that. Plays a. Well, it wasn't an SG, it was a Les Paul Custom. They were called for a couple of years before Les Paul found out and went, I don't like those guitars, take my name off it. So they did. And then they called it SG. It's like, oh, why's it called SG? Bet that stands for Gran Turismo or something fancy. No, it stands for solid guitar. Oh. Oh. No need to spend big money these days with the tech available. Sort of. There's so much shit second hand. You got to remember going back. If you go back to the 70s and stuff, guitars have only been about for 10 years. So there weren't so many guitars that you could just pick up. And you didn't have Gumtree, and you had adverts in the paper. So it had to be someone local that was selling a guitar or a pawn shop. I paid £500 for a 1976 Les Paul Gold Top, but that was in 1976. Wow. Hey, Gorgon, that's difficult to spell. Gorgon. This is an Antoria Telecaster, which I don't even think I paid any money for it. I think I might have paid £30, or I swapped it for something to the value of £30. It didn't have any pickups in it, and a big hole cut in it, so I put Mexican dual-sonic pickups in it, white jazz bass knobs, and this middle pickup was to fill a hole, but it also does something crazy when you pull this in. So you get two single coils. When you pull out the tone knob, it makes a humbucker using half of the middle pickup, and if you pull out the neck pickup, the volume control, it makes a humbucker out of those two. Quite interesting, but it was basically to fill the hole, and it's not standard Telecaster shape. So a normal Telecaster pickguard only goes to there, so you can still see the hole. So that's what it is. Yeah. Hey Jez, how's it going? Cheers for the bottle of Bucky this week, sponsored by. I was actually going to write Jez on it there. I thought I'm going to make a Bucky caster this week, so I want to keep the label. Behind Minneapolis, very good. Someone's there. Theme for the day. I assume, can't quite see, but behind Malco, theme for the day is what I'm seeing at the top, and I'm assuming it's Telecaster Day, because it is. Mary Kay was the Strat lady, right? Oh, Mary Ford was a Les Paul's wife. Oh, right, okay. It's Mary Kay I'm thinking of. She had the first Les Paul costume, right? Okay, got you. 3,200. Oh, but 3,200 is not. I know it sounds fucking ridiculous. I'd easily buy 15 or 20 guitars for that and have this lot. But if you didn't know anything about guitars and you went on to, like, you know, Anderton's or a guitar website, there's one's much more expensive than that. Yeah, pawn shop. That's where you buy guitars. If you think guitar inflation is mad, have a look at comic books. Superman #1 costs 10 cents now. Decent as for 3 million. Okay, that's That's not really inflation though, but I know what you mean. I know that I looked up, mind you, this was last year and things have been going up like fuck. 1983, £100 was roughly £300, sort of thing, something like that. But I was working away from home a lot, and it was left alone waiting for the burgers, so I had to sell it. With burglars, not burgers. Up you're right. Hey, Kit Kat, did you get a battery for that wee brass guitar clock? I did not. No, I forgot about it completely until you just mentioned it there. It's in. I was nabbing bits out this bag earlier on. The guy gave me a bag of bits. Quite classy. Quite a classy wee thing. Sort of. I was actually going to show it to JPAX, but then I thought I might not get it back. So I thought it'd be quite useful so I could just sit it there. Well, you can't actually see it. That stand's not very good. It's not that easy to make it stand up. It does have a stand, but it doesn't seem to want to. Maybe it's just strictly not for bucking. Yeah, I can see that being quite a. Yeah. Oh. I could buy a new brain for 3,200. It'd be miles better than the brain I got now. Well, pretty good. I forgot Mary Ford was married to Les Paul. I recognise the name. It's not music I ever listened to. These are names I've only ever really heard in guitar books. So, I don't know. Although I did see, I did enjoy, they were quite funny, Les Paul and his wife, when they were doing stuff. There was a bit where he was playing something horrendously out of tune. And his wife, Mary Ford, took the guitar behind and went like that. And then he was in tune, doing stuff like that, sort of comedy guitar playing. I quite enjoyed it. The Mary Ford Les Paul that looked like an SG. Right, I didn't. So I know they stopped making the Les Paul in 1959, I think. Or no, Paul McCartney's got a 1961. I think they kind of stopped making them in 59, but some were left over to 1960 because nobody wanted them, so they just didn't bother with them. And then, obviously, after that, Peter Green and Clapton and Jeff Beck all started playing them. And then they brought them back in 1971 or 1972 or something, but they didn't bring back one with humbuckers. They brought back one with, you could have P90, you could have, it was mini humbuckers. Like, everyone was like, oh, just like Peter Green. No. Seems a bit crazy. Bit of used G&L Comanche. It's a cool name. 700 to 1,800, but disappointed. And radius too flat. I don't know, but that doesn't make it a bad guitar if you don't like. As I was saying earlier on about guitars I don't like. It's you could give me a guitar that's got feel wise all the spec is lovely, proper low, just feel, but it's a Randy Rhoads shape thing. I don't like it. So I mean, I'm not going to say it's shit. It's just I don't like it. Whereas do you know it might like to be a bit strange. Mary Ford, I'm getting lost. 1961 was the transitional year. Okay. How High the Moon? I think I recognise these names. I think. I don't know. But I know Les Paul doesn't like the SG. Mind you, the Les Paul itself wasn't actually his design. His design was a flat top, and Gibson, because they had the machine that made carved tops, they wanted to do that. Yeah, cheers. I spike the likes. More people than there are likes. That's not right. I noticed there's no adverts this week because I've decided I can't be bothered with the unlisted thing and just having a hassle with it. So fuck it. If anyone's feeling guilty, you can super chat me 50 pence. That'd be lovely. But it's not worth it. And it's like I don't even know how to get round it either because I never used to get demonetized. I'm not doing anything different than I used to. The Comanche has 3 split single coils like the P-Bass, right? I was going to say I know what you're talking about, but I do like the Z coils. Z coils are called. Yes, I actually did a guitar for my pal. I said it wasn't worth doing. I didn't want to do it. And I kept giving them working out wiring diagrams of how to do it. And they'd go, no, I wanted to do this. And they'd be like, and then at the end, I kind of fell out with them because how much do you want for doing it? I was like, I fucking spent hours doing different wiring diagrams for you for this bastard. That's all free then. Aye. I didn't like that very much. Like I eventually ended up doing it, and what I did was I split it so you'd 6 on-off switches and a stereo thing, so you could have like the top 3 strings coming out one pickup and the bottom 3 strings coming out the other. So you could choose like sampling the 3 strings on the bridge pickup here, and then start sampling the 3 strings from the neck pickup here to make some interesting sounds. But I mean, it was more of an exercise than an actual functional guitar. The guitar he had me put it in was pish, and I can't remember. I must have fed up with it. Oh, sorry, Z coils. Are they actually called ZED? That's the American thing with Z. Right. That's where what's the Brad Pitt film? It's terrible, by the way. World War Z, which kind of works because it's like, oh, World War III, World War Z. That makes sense, but obviously here it's World War Z. Okay, that's actually the start. That's filmed in Glasgow town centre. ZZ top. Yes, Ian, I know that. I've got my ZZB bass and my ZZ Blade Runner guitar as well. Now, I've never seen that, actually noticing that in, I think it might be when I got the DVD of Pulp Fiction, Zed's Dead. That guy, the mad, I don't know, gimp-loving police officer guy, had a keyring with Z on it, and I was happy. It wasn't sort of saw it in blue and on DVD. I was like, oh, that's what he says. It's got the Z letter, and then it says ED after it, because he couldn't just have a Z, because that's not his name, whereas here it would be. You got away with it. Oh. Been dragged around the neighbourhood for a refreshing walk with Troy. Missed out. I was slagging off guitars I don't like, and I mentioned a couple of years. Yeah, so it's all right. Hey, Daniel. George Square. The book is 10 times better. To be honest, I would be surprised. That must still be a shit book, because the film was unbearably bad. Like pure. I don't even think I watched all of it. It was atrocious film, that one. So the book's probably 100 times better, I would have thought. Look, perfectly normal day in Glasgow to me. Yeah, pretty much. Right, so that would be like on the day, basically on the day of an Old Firm match. It was pretty much just that in George Square. Yeah. Yeah. But the one that's better, what's it called? 2012 Doomsday, something like that. And it's got Sean Pertwee in it. And it's also filmed in George Square. It's a much better film, and I bet you it cost about 100th as much. It doesn't have Brad Pitt in it. But it's got Sean Pertwee in it, and it's kind of set. It's a wee bit like 28 Days Later or something like that. I quite enjoyed that film. They ended up deep frying them because they were Scottish in the end. Yeah, I thought quite interesting. Guy not probably had a Boss GT10 for sale on eBay. eBay weren't happy about doing a sale outside. They never are happy. You've got to be very clever about it, don't you? In brief, are you Scottish folks happy about the recent vote to Labour? Good or bad? But that one, that's just what happens is the two main English parties get teamed up and manage to knock out the SNP. It's just one vote. It's just corruption. Of course, we're not. It's like Labour are just as bad as the Tories. There's not any difference. Like, do you know what's good for Scotland? No. God, no. Do you know what's best for all of the UK? All of the UK, right? So it's better for more people. Yeah, no, not good for us. Sorry. I mean, there are racists and stuff in Scotland, so some of them do vote for these people. Yeah, bigots. Aye, Zed is dead. Good though, he deserved to die. George Square Thatcher Death Day concert. Possibly. He wrote the Zombie Survival Handbook. How to. Brilliant. Mogwai, I actually know the keyboard player in Mogwai, Barry. Aye. I've never really heard any Mogwai songs that I liked. And when I met him, I was happy. I was talking about the band I was in. He's happy. You're in a band. I'm in a band. Oh, you won't like them. I was like, Mogwai. I've heard the name. He's like, happy. It's not you. You won't like it. Because he knew I was into Sabbath and stuff like that. And it's not like that. I think I actually saw them live one time. And I didn't really understand. It's kind of like film soundtrack music. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I just figured that maybe I wasn't on the right drugs or something. I don't know. Reduminization can happen if foul language appears in the first 7 seconds. Probably, I think it's 30 seconds before you're allowed to say fuck, but I don't know. Fuck it, not really bothered. Anybody know Scottish band Dawn of the Replicants? I do not know. I dislocated my shoulder at Ibrox football stadium on the day Thatcher died. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I think Mogwell is only instrumental. Yeah, it was like the keyboard player Barry. I can't remember his name. I knew him years before he joined the band. Secret to the Living Dead series, The Crazies. I think we're in that phase. I've never really got. I get fed up with zombie films, and I never really saw that many. They seem to be the same. I remember when I think it was probably when I first got the internet, I was like able to get pirate films, and there was just so many superhero films. Like, oh god, I get so sick of them. Like, this is before Marvel had really kicked off doing nothing but hundreds of superhero films. When I got bored of superhero films and zombie films, there must be other things to do films about. I kind of liked 28 Days Later, whatever the first one was. It was kind of a bit mad. There's a zombie film, and then there's just so many others. I remember the one in the. I assume it's an 80s one. It's Night of the Living Dead or something like that, when they're in like a shopping mall. I think I remember it being quite good. Is there any more Sabbath gigs in the cars? Not yet, no. I'm not even in the studio. We're in next week, and we'll work out getting something a wee bit more gigging, because we ran out of time, and we went down really well, and quite a lot of people left actually after us and said, like the second band, who were was it Watery Shite was what I was told. Like that. Was like, no, they're really quite good. Like, Watery Shite. Like, okay. So I need to get some stuff there. Kind of hardcore trance weird stuff. What's your favourite Sabbath album cover? Oh, it's a good one. I always like Tear or Tear, but I mean, it's kind of a bit computery. It's not a good album. Sabotage, because it's the worst album cover. Maybe I like it best. Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. I like that. That's done by the same guy who did the original Star Wars posters, which obviously as soon as you find that out, you just go, oh, totally. I know the exact posters you mean. It totally looks like Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, apart from it says Star Wars on it. Yeah. And I like the Technical Ecstasy cover. I like the Never Say Die cover as well, actually. Not great for their album covers, or maybe just the classic Paranoid, where it's like, it's just a guy wearing like luminous felt stuff with a motorbike helmet on, swinging a. Whatever. Drank the officer dry the day Thatcher died. I don't even remember that. I'm not old enough to know. How come zombies walk around slower than council workers, but they always catch you? Never Say Die is a great cover. I was watching a few months ago, watching someone talking about the album. I think it was the album covers, and they never mentioned the fact that See and Never Say Die. There's, if you look in the clouds, there's like ghosts of pilots and shit in it. I even had to check, make sure it wasn't. Hadn't made it up, but it does. I do like the way Never Say Die on the inside sleeve. It's got like an engine schematic for some sort of crazy engine. Good. What's the black Telecaster, the black wall? That one there. It's a. What Volume 4 is a crap album cover. I've never liked that. Although I did send one to the singer and thing. It was it said Happy Birthday instead of saying Black Sabbath, and Ozzy was like that, and he was blowing out a cake. It was quite good. Jesus, chunk. That one, it's a Washburn Tour 24. Made in Japan. And it's got a Yamaha Floyd Rose on it, which is super super violent. That's interesting. This is one of the ones that you get if you ever see the BBR guitars. This is a BBR, apart from it doesn't have. It's actually a BBW, BBB, something like that. Basically, the BBR, apart from it doesn't have the red on it. It's all right. That was when I was thinking of it. Might be my JPAX telly. But my thought about that was it's not really a telly. Having a Floyd Rose and two humbuckers that aren't splittable doesn't give you telly sounds. It's a super telly. That's what I decided it was at one time. Black Sabbath with a cold winter look. I don't know if it looks like. Actually, I always thought Volume 4 was a bit of a sort of what happened. It's just like I quite like the colour. The back cover is exactly the same, apart from it's got thingy on it. It's like what was white, Ozzy's white, and it says Black Sabbath in orange on the front. On the back, it's Ozzy's orange. It says Black Sabbath in white. Something like that. I don't know. Are you from Scotland? You're thinking that's a cold winter look? Not like that cold. It's not even raining. But I mean, yes, I know the one you mean. It is a cool album cover. We were actually thinking about reading out the poem or getting somebody. I was thinking of doing it, reading out the poem at the start of our gig. It was on the inside of this picture right there. That one. That's not particularly wintry, but the inside with its inverted crucifix, it's got a poem that you can read out. Which I was thinking it'd be pretty cool to read that out, and then because it ends with the cataract of darkness formed fully, the long black night begins, yet still by the lake, a young girl waits, unseeing. She believes herself unseen. She smiles faintly at the distant tolling bell and the still falling rain. Bang! I thought that would work quite well, but we never did it. Right. When albums died and CDs took over, we did a bit, yes. I remember thinking that very much with Rolling Stones' Voodoo Lounge, because suddenly it's not designed to be a 12-inch, it's only designed to be that size, so it's kind of like a really much simpler thing. You know what I mean? Some of it, in the Caravan in the Land of Grey and Pink on CD is nothing like the record. The record's just so much better. Oh. Baby LP cover was a black and white picture of a telly leaning against a Vox AT30. Seen it in the store early 80s, can't find it again, can't remember the band. It sounds... Is it a Clash album? I don't really know any Clash albums, so I don't know it isn't. I think I've got a double album greatest hits thing. I know London Calling, but it could be a Clash album. You can buy it, Mr. White. Up to you. It's raining. I don't even know if it's raining just now. If I look at the streetlight, I'll be able to see. No, not raining here. Road's still wet though, so it's obviously been raining at some point. Yeah, the rain yesterday was mental. It actually woke me up. My favourite album cover of all time is Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Brain Salad Surgery by H.R. Geiger. I know the one, but I bought that album. Does that open in the centre? Is it that one? Or am I thinking it's an Alice Cooper one that kind of looks a little bit like it? But I bought Brain Salad Surgery expecting it to be thoroughly amazing, and I honestly can't remember anything that's on it. That was when I realised that Emerson, Lake and Palmer were not for me. I don't know. Emerson, Lake and Palmer fit in with Yes and Genesis with me. Love prog rock. Don't understand Genesis or Yes or Emerson, Lake and Palmer. It seems, I don't know, widdly. Now, the LP are on the Isle of Wight video. I had the Isle of Wight Festival 1970 video I used to watch when I was, of, I don't know, 16 or whatever, all the time. And everyone else thought it was amazing. And Emerson, Lake and Palmer, I was like, why are they so huge? I don't get it. Not wintry, but late autumn and chilly. Okay, yeah, okay. Aye. Sorry, just someone says winter, I just think sleet, horizontal. You know what it's like? Horizontal sleet, that's fucking winter. Anything less is just fine. The woman on the cover of the first Sabbath album goes under the name Indebra and makes electronic music. I saw a thing probably on the Black Sabbath Facebook page, and it had a photo of her now. After CDs came out, I was able to read song lyrics, band members, and even song names. Bastards. I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, no, there's that as well. Used to get an awful lot of folded out shit. That was always really impressed me about Cradle of Filth. They were obviously CDs, but you'd fold out like that, and see all the bits where he's going, oh, that's all words. Because, you know, it's like there's this many words for a song, even though I just thought he was going, oh, it's all words. I can't even do that for more than 2 seconds, but I can feel my throat going. But yeah, no, I got you. Not the Clash punk band for sure, but there's a mound of those. Hey, Slow Ranger, how's it going? Nice telly. Which one? And the thing is, it's even more disgusting. This is not my entire Telecaster collection. I was actually sitting there going, I look at tellies and put them on the wall earlier on to annoy Kit Kats. And then it was like, oh, there's a double neck there as well. So that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I've still got my Schecter one, and I've still got the West Tone Clipper. And any other ones that I've forgotten about. So it's quite a lot of Telecasters. It's quite ridiculous. The album opens like a book. Yes, I do. I bought it for the album cover. I bought a lot of records for the album cover, but I would basically listen to it, and if I didn't like it, I didn't buy any more records. But I bought hundreds of shit that you'd never normally buy. I've got it. I think I've got Emerson, Lake and Powell as well, because I thought, okay, well, that's quite funny the way they got a new drummer. They got Cozy Powell to play the drums, and they're still ELP. Yeah! I thought that was quite funny. Dark Side of the Moon is one of my favourite album covers, iconic. I've never really liked the album, to be honest. I don't know why, really. I mean, obviously, classic album. I kind of knew, but I mean, all the Pink Floyd albums, I knew of The Wall, I knew Dark Side of the Moon, I knew Animals, but I didn't know Pink Floyd was a band. I just knew, I knew if you'd showed me that record cover when I was a kid, I could have told you that's Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. And then I would have said, what is Pink Floyd? I didn't know they were a band. And the Wall as well, because it was a film. And yeah, I used to see it written everywhere. Oh. Hey, Ben. We're all doing great here, I think. We're talking about album covers. Best album covers. In the Land of Grey and Pink, My Caravan's the best album cover. That's what I'm going for. War of the Worlds, Jeff Wayne. Oh. Used to play that in the band I was in called Blind Duck. I played the bass. I do love the first track of that album. I actually get the DTS surround sound version of that. It's amazing. Love it. The rest of the album, not so much. It's kind of got its high points and low points. I was really disappointed with the Phil Lynott song. Oh no, Nathaniel, no. Like, you know. Phil Lynott could be not got a better song in there. In fact, a lot less sober. Time for off for the time being to quiz. I don't know what that means. The Cradle of Filth Vestal masturbation t-shirt was even better than the Gatefold. I don't know that one. I think you meant, I don't remember Vestal masturbation. Got me through at Senior Centre. Classic. I know they had a very famous. I remember seeing it at Ozfest '98. They had a t-shirt that just said "Jesus is a cunt" on the back of it. It might be that one you're talking about. I've actually wear a t-shirt. Nymphetamine that I got at the gig for $5. It's terrible. I quite like this. Some Cradle of Filth are good. I really enjoyed seeing them. They were really down on their luck. I saw them at Download 5 years ago, just before lockdown. They were on like at lunchtime, and they were brilliant. But everyone was just not really interested in them. I felt really. I'd even played Gilded Cunt. Bah, bah, Gilded Cunt. Bah, bah. I quite enjoyed it. I remember the original cover of Virgin Killer by the Scorpions. It's extremely dodgy. Yes, I don't think I've ever actually seen the album, but I've seen somebody talking about it. Yeah. Some of the Scorpion covers are a bit dodgy. What's the one? I've got the one sitting in a taxi and there's a girl with her boob out, but it's got chewing gum stuck to it. And the guy's like pulling his hat. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. Band album covers are interesting. Mamas and Papas had one band because it was a toilet in the background. So did the Stones' Beggar's Banquet. It never had. But I never knew any of this because the record I bought was the digitally remastered one, so it must have been a later 80s version of Beggar's Banquet. I did, and then when I bought the original one, it's just like it looks basically the same year as the Beatles' White Album, and okay, I think it's got like a black border around the outside, but it's just a white fucking cover that says the Rolling Stones RSVP or something on it. So it's basically just the Beatles' White Album. But that's the toilet was gone. The Led Zeppelin 3 with the cutouts of the wheel you could turn was fun to play with. Yes, I'll give that. Yeah, that's a great album cover. Actually, it's quite a good album. Come from the land of the ice and snow with the midnight sun, with the hot springs. Fucking hard song to play though. Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. I don't think that was. Is that really that bad? There's a guy that looks very much like Christopher Eccleston on the front. It's just like folk with black boxes over their eyes, isn't it? That might not be the original album cover though. That's the one I've got. Holy Diver. That's a classic. Jean-Michel Jarre Oxygen. That's just a skull, isn't it? With a lightning bolt going through it or something like that. I've got that somewhere. The Cult's Electric album. I'm not sure. The T-shirt, I didn't write. I knew they were almost. I kind of heard of them before that T-shirt more than anything else. Smell the Glove. I've actually got Smell the Glove, or I've got. There's a. Is it the Stonehenge one? I think it is. I've got the Stonehenge shaped picture disc for a Spinal Tap song, but it came in like a 12-inch sleeve, and it's got the actual cover of Smell the Glove on it, which is a girl wearing leather, lying down, having a glove forced into her face and made to smell it with like a dog leash on. So it's classy stuff. Proudest T I own is a Top Cunt one of the set of Top Gun. Very good. Yeah. The original Guns N' Roses Appetite for Destruction sleeve was banned. Apparently, robots raping and pillaging wasn't appropriate. Yes, I've got that record. It's the only Guns N' Roses thing I ever bought because I thought, that's an interesting cover. I think I only paid £1 for it or something like that. That might be worth quite a lot of money because Guns N' Roses, people still like them. I do have it. Yeah, I've got the album's still shit. I remember listening to it just going, I might have one of the Use Your Illusions as well that I picked up for £1 in a charity shop. Is the Earth Pulling Back? Yeah, I've never really looked at it that much, the Oxygen cover. The Jean-Michel album I really got into was oh god, I can't. Was it Aero? It's called. It was like a modern one, but it was a surround sound, a DTS or a super audio CD thing that it had oxygen. It was like a greatest hits, but it had all been mixed into ridiculous surround sound. And it would be, when you stuck it on your DVD player, it just had a girl's eyes up quite close as you kind of looked about while the music went. Great fun. Overkill. I don't know. Bomber. I know Bomber. And Motorhead, I don't know if I know that. Fast Eddie Clarkson. Yeah, I don't know. Hawkwind had some good one. What's the one that took me ages to find it? Warrior on the Edge of Time. I was the album. I wasn't. I think it was too late that I eventually found that album. But I like the album title. I can't remember what was on it. Hawkwind Masters of the Universe is a great album cover. Very like Wishbone Ash Argus, which is a fantastic album and album cover. I bought that because the cover's fucking amazing. Wow, and you just get this vision of what the music's going to be like, and you put it on, and it's like that. It's like, yes. And the Land of Grey and Pink, the Caravan one, is very like that as well. You go, look at this, and you go, oh my God, I can imagine what this is like. You put it on, and it is like that. Brilliant. Could be worth money depending on the pressing. I thought the pressing was the original one, Flown Ranger. I just assumed it was the one that was banned. I don't know. I suppose it could have been a reissue, but I probably bought it 20 years ago. My favourite T-shirt is a Viz one. I bought a Viz book, and it's nothing in it I'd ever seen before when we were away camping with Scott. in Scott's camper van, bought it at a charity shop, and it said a £4 on it, and I bought it anyway. And the guy's like, that's £1 because I think I just misread the 4. I was over the moon, and it's still in Scott's camper van. I forgot about it, but I'm looking forward to reading that because the viz can be fucking hilarious. I always like the adverts and the comments. I'm on their Facebook page, and it's just you get great things. I still remember it was like it must be I think I've only ever bought about 2 comics in my life. It must have been about 14 or something, and it was like adverts for swimming pools, and it had like heart shaped, fair enough, and then it was like kidney shaped. You know, like, okay, then it was like spleen shaped, and it was like internal tract shaped. Then it was Richard Branson shaped, which was just shaped like a cock and balls. And I thought that was really funny. Early Meat Puppets LP. I don't know the Meat Puppets at all. Wishbone Ash is, but it's also a great have to be a warrior. I've never actually seen Wishbone Ash, either of the Wishbone Ashes, but I mean, that album, to be honest, I did buy a few other Wishbone Ash albums, and none of them were anything like as good. One of them was quite good. The one with the burnt wishbone on it is quite good, but that one's just, you only need one. That's the one, as far as I'm concerned. Jimi Hendrix Electric Ladyland with the real ladies in the cover. Got it. Yeah, no, I've got that one. It's gatefold as well. Yeah. A few times being chased by the cops, I'm singing No Night Fighter, Gonna Stop Us Getting Through. I don't know what that is. Bill Bailey has a belter of a song. Juan Michel Jarre is a fraud. I saw a thing, I remember watching a thing, was it a hub? My pal Michael used to be in him, and I remember watching him. I'm going to smoke the rest of this fag that started before I put out because we were getting late. He did a concert, I think it was a Hogmanay or a New Year's Eve concert, and he had like, it was in Paris maybe, or something like that, and what he'd done was it was in the middle of a city, and there was skyscrapers in the city, and he was making, the light show was included these skyscrapers in the distance, so he was sending, and they were going up and down like VU meters on these skyscrapers that were half a mile away. I remember seeing that and being thoroughly impressed. I also really love his that one. Is it Equinox? I don't know which part it is. Equinox, it's him looking cool as fuck. Looks a wee bit like Matt Berry. He's got like the awesome French haircut, flares, and he's walking along a beach, just going. It's fucking great. That song, bang, belter. All right, the sleeve was. Maybe I don't know. The thing is, to see all my records that are worth money. 1 year, and I think it was 2002. I bought the records book. You know, the book that gives you all the values. So I know kind of what ones were valuable in 2002. I mean, some of the Stones albums I had were worth 60 and 80 quid in 2002. Bet they're worth more now. Remember that were Soho Strippers. I haven't heard that Wet Lettuce, but I have heard that Greenslade. I've got that one. What's the one? Bedside Manners or Extra or something like that. It's got a song that goes. It's fucking great. Yeah. Red Queen to Gryphon 3. I remember buying that as well by a band called Gryphon, and they all played crumhorns. It was pretty mental as well. Any album with a budgie on it. Yeah, I mean, Bandolier by Budgie, the one. That's first time I met the drummer, our current drummer for the Sabbath band. It's like Brian the singer. Like, this is Alan. He plays the drums. And it's up here. I don't know if he maybe up here. Look, just Brian. He's wearing a Budgie Bandolier t-shirt. Oh, of course, he's amazing. So that's how I didn't hear whatever the spiel he was saying about. Oh, you're good at drums. He's wearing a Budgie Bandolier t-shirt, and that's kind of like Planet of the Apes. Apart from instead of being apes on horses with rifles, it's budgie-headed things. Yes. Bobber, I don't know. Nevada Unplugged, they did a Meat Puppet song, and the two brothers joined them, the two long-haired dudes, if you remember. I don't remember, no. I've got the 2006 price guide to hand, but anything 90s, noughties and vinyl is worth more than other older stuff now. Because I remember my pal buying Meatloaf Bat Out of Hell 3 when it came out, and it was shit. And then maybe about 10 years ago, he's like, Pierre, I fucking just looked up that Meatloaf album. It's worth 150 quid, so I sold it for him for 150 quid. Just like, it was shit. But yes, I know what you mean. Because vinyl was, I was there at the prime time of vinyl being, things didn't come out in vinyl. I didn't, it wasn't, when I started buying things, 2004, something like that. When vinyl, or 2003, when vinyl started coming back a little bit, when I went to Glastonbury, I bought like Electric Six's album and stuff like that. Oh, you can actually buy new records, whereas the only records I could buy the previous 6 years had been, big popular albums. They never, amazing, I love Greens. Great. I really liked a couple of, I can't remember the album I liked. One of the albums I thought was really good. I don't think it's Bedside Manners or Extra or something like that it's called. There's another one that I really liked. The one I got first. Cheech and Chong album covers are cool. I've got one where it's like them. It's the one that's got Basketball Jones on it. If you've never heard Basketball Jones, what the fuck? It's basically the George Harrison All Things Must Pass band playing a song that could be on All Things Must Pass, but it's I got a basketball, Jones, I got a basketball. It's got like a guy going pure. Yeah, when I was a little kiddie, I used to play basketball. I played it so much, I used to sleep with a basketball in below my pillow and all that. But it's got this amazing music to it. And then inside that, it's like when you pull the sleeve out, it's like it's got a window where the window in the front, if you imagine the front half of the front door of a car with the two of them sitting in it. And then when you slide it out, it shows you the internals of the car door and it's stuffed with weed. I've got that one. I've also got one that's like a big pill when you fold it out, and it's on the inside. It's like a tongue with a pill on it. Only stopped by vinyl, but became Boston. The thing is, I never liked any music that was really about. Anyway, I didn't. The whole 90s. I mean, you could get the Oasis albums and all that shit. They came out on vinyl. Once they got to a certain popularity, they started doing vinyl. But I actually remember buying. People used to buy records because they didn't have a CD player yet. I'm that old. I remember when people didn't have a CD player, and I eventually got a CD player. 20 quid I paid for it. And then I bought. It had Hawkwind album in it, Night of the Hawk, because the guy who sold it to me said that you're meant to put a CD in it for when you transport it. So I had that CD for a week, and then I bought Deep Purple, the anthology, and the Easy Rider soundtrack, which were my two CDs. And then the following weekend, I was going up for a fire at the Moss, as you do, drinking Bucky, having a fire in a swamp. And my pal Mo was like, "Oh, how's it this place called the Record Exchange?" And I bought 8 records for a £5. Records? You still get records? I was like, he was running. He got like a Deep Purple album, and what the fuck's that? And basically, I didn't buy any CDs for about 10 years unless you just couldn't get it, and it was very rare CDs I would have, because I would, instead of buying, I don't know if you remember going back when people would get their student grant in and they would blow it in CDs and they'd spend like 50 quid and come back with like 4 albums. They'd have like a Stones album, a Led Zeppelin album, because they were £15 a pop. Whereas I was spending a tenner and getting 10 records of various things, of the same things that my pals are buying, shit like that. I remember coming home from a guy I worked with in the co-op, and he was talking about his I just bought The Wall, and The Wall was like it was a £30 double CD. Same with the Beatles White album. Was it like £30 double CD? It was like a rite of passage to have it. I was like, look, The Wall CD. I was like, I just bought it today, and I was like, I pulled it out. It was like the original one. It doesn't say Pink Floyd The Wall on it. And it's got the fold out bits on it. And the guy's like, you paid $3.50 for it. I was like, aye, bastard. Because I mean, which is better, the CD or the record? The record. Disraeli by Cream. That used to be on my wall as well. Don't know if I really love the album, but I used to have the cover on my wall. The Welsh band Man with Mickey Jones, and we're cracking. Real musicians. Yes, I've seen Man, and they've got an amazing album cover which I eventually bought. The guy had an SG, and it's like the scratch plate had been, I think he'd cut it up and made it was like a pure amazing sort of gothic pattern made of scratch plate on the front of the SG. And when I saw them at the Canterbury Festival, the guy had an SG. This is before I was aware that Zakk Wylde had, the Bullseye one. He had an SG like that. I mean, after, I don't know, 4 songs in or somebody picked up the SG and he was like, pick it. And everyone went, yeah! And he's like, what? because everyone would just go, "That's fucking cool guitar," because no one had ever seen one before. I know it's wrong, but listening to vinyl and surround sound, it's analog. I've got Mike Oldfield boxed, right, which is a quadraphonic boxed rec set. It doesn't have tubular bells in it because it's missing, but that's why it was £1. And I've got a Dolby Digital decoder and a full 5.1 surround sound system. And those records, see the quadraphonic thing, it works on a Dolby Digital decoder. It's different from, because I've got the albums that are in it are like Omadon and Hergest Ridge, but I've got the original of them as well. And I remember putting on that box and going, fucking hell, it's pure proper surround sound. How does that work from a record? That means I don't have a quadraphonic record player. And then I put on the original Omadon and it wasn't as surroundy soundy. So there's something in it. It's just frequencies. War Heroes Hendrix, they don't make it anymore. I don't think I've got War Heroes. I remember one called Cry of Love kicking about, which had Easy Rider on it. Easy. I quite like that one. I think they're all had the first Sony Walkman, the one that's in Guardians of the Galaxy. I bet you that's worth fucking a few £100 now. When I was a kid, the family's record player was a bush with one speaker. Going back to it's just a bush, not even a record player. It was just a plant. Wow. I've still got when I was growing up, my family amp was there, still there. Pioneer stereo receiver model SX434 was my dad's stereo, which I've still got. I've still got the tape deck that came with it as well. And the tape deck, although it doesn't work anymore, I've since stopped working years ago. I used to use it to record things off my Atari ST. It's the one from Thunderball. And if you look in Thunderball, there's a bit where he puts in a cassette and it's some sort of voice changing thing when he's on the phone. And it's basically the tape deck my dad had, apart from it's got a sticker on it over the bit where it says whatever the model is. But it's totally that one. I've got that. Oh. One of my favourite 7-inch singles is Stacey's Mum by Fountains of Wayne. Really? I just assumed that was done by... I've never heard of Fountains of Wayne, but I know Stacey's Mum has got it going. I just assumed that was Limp Bizkit or something. There you go. My first CD player component piece in 1990. I reckon it must have been 1994. I bought my first CD player. I'm not proud of it. I used to swap price labels in record shops. Highway to Hell was $4.99. I swapped it with a $2.99 sticker from another album. Wet Lettuce, I had a similar thing. I've done it a couple of times. The only thing I've ever stolen was a Bee Gees record. Even then, it was Bee Gees' Greatest Hits. It was a triple album, and it was $7.99. And I wanted Staying Alive because I remember it from Airplane, and I refused to pay that, so I peeled the label off and stuck a 99p sticker on it and stole it, basically. Well, and little did I realise that, my God, there's an awful lot of good Bee Gees songs. But the first cassette I ever bought, the first cassette I bought when I started knowing what music was, rather than just, I don't know anything about music. It was the Rolling Stones, and it was now I know it was the first album, and it said the Rolling Stones special offer $2.99, and next to it was the one Hot Rocks, which I think was probably quite new at the time, single cassette. They just said it was $11.99, but it had Paint It Black on it and all that. And it was like, so I swapped the covers over, so I bought that. Yeah, what a dick! But I did it. RCA cables are still used, one of the best connectors. Why not? RCAs, yeah. I remember going into Richer Sounds, like a hi-fi shop, to ask if I could, because the first DVD player I bought had all these RCA outs. I was up here, maybe get surround sounds, and I was up here. I remember going up here. See, can I run this through separate amps? Because it's just got phono outs for left and right, and then phono outs for rear, left, and right, and then a phono out for the center speaker. So can I run these two separate amps? And like, no, you just surround sound decoder, £200. No. And I just fucking did it anyway, and it worked. Because I basically just had the amp I'd got at a charity shop for a tenner with another amp I'd got with another set of speakers. So I used to run a surround sound system from my DVD player because it happened to have the decoder built in the back. Electric Laserland was meant to be quad, but they fixed the pressing out. Something to do with the pressing was wrong. Phasing, possibly. I mean, it's just kind of built into it. Yeah. RCS, I've still got fucking piles of them. I never even bothered connect up. I ended up getting a fucking amazing Yamaha natural sound decoder thing. But when I moved here, I never bought. There's not enough room to put speakers in. I do have these. I've got 5 of these wee JPW mini monitors. I'm literally running stereo just now. They're not as good as big speakers, but they're great with the subwoofer. So I've got like 2 of them, 2 rear ones, and then the specially shielded center speaker and a 300 watt Sony subwoofer, which I never used to buy. Never bought thing. You got a Yamaha Pacifica telly this week for £30, bastard. I'd love one of the tellies, man. And we've still got a radiogram. Nobody. No, I think no, the Pacifica telly. Because I remember looking at one. This is about 5 years ago. Before I realised they were rare, and I was up here thinking, oh, it didn't look particularly good. It looked kind of crap, to be honest. And I was up here, oh, and it was in Johnson, and it was on eBay, and it was starting at 20 quid. And I was like, up here, I'm fucking getting that for 25 quid. Pacificas are worth nothing, and it went for like 150. It was like, what? So that's well done. I'll buy it off you for 30 quid if you can't fix it. Catch you later, wet lettuce. These are jack and tuners are rusted up. That's easy, cheap shite to fix, man. No, you can get a Pacifica normally for not far off. There was a guy in Falkirk selling one, or a girl in Falkirk selling one just now that I keep thinking about. Falkirk's not 20 minutes away or something like that. It's doable, 40 quid, and it's missing the springs from the back of the tremolo. Apart from that, it looks complete, and it's like, kind of tempted. I don't need another Pacifica. I actually did a video for one you'll see tomorrow of me, Pacifica 611. It's fucking lovely. What a guitar. So, Slow Ranger, what guitars are you going to see tomorrow so I can phone them up and offer them an extra tenner? I got a ton of RCA to quarter-inch jack plugs. I used to run everything through a 16-channel mixer. Yeah, I was the same. Now it's like I've got all sorts of phono to XLR even. Mike Stern Pacifica's Teleco 3000 to me. It's a bit later Pacifica telly, still high end. Yeah, no, there are. But originally, I think when the Pacifica came out as the cheap version, like the $150 one or whatever it was, there was a telly as well. You could get what we now know as a Pacifica, the sort of Stratty one, and you got a telly. It's not the most beautiful telly shape. It's a bit. It looks a wee bit like Matt Bellamy's guitar. It's like that. Like this one here isn't really full on telly. It's a little bit kind of. This bit's a wee bit pointier, and this bit's a bit thinner. On a Pacifica one, that's even bigger. I think this is even pointier. So this is kind of like halfway between a telly and the Pacifica telly. But I mean, I bet you it's awesome. I don't know where you got that, because if I'd seen it and it was that price, I would have bought it without even. I'd have been in the car immediately. I run the line out from my Marshall. You run a line out. Looked up the serial number 2003. Really? They still made them that late? Well, there you go. Mind you, 2003. Okay. I wasn't really. I played the guitar 1998. I bought my Epiphone SG. This is before I got into this thing about fixing guitars, and they become more of a sort of commodity rather than your own guitar. Because I mean, I just didn't realize you got people who had more than half a dozen, more than. Why would you want 2 electric guitars? Yeah, I was at the stage of wanting, at that time, thinking, oh, it'd be nice to have an electric guitar and a spare electric guitar, an acoustic guitar and a bass, and possibly a spare bass, that kind of thing, in case something snaps. But Mike Stern is a 1611. Yeah, well, Yamaha's come in. It won't be a 1611. That'll be incredibly expensive. The one that Stratocaster Ian has will not be a it'll not be a 1611. It'll be a 111 or something like that. And it smells like an ashtray. Bonus. A Marshall half stack. Wow. I've not even heard the term half stack. half stack as in it's only got one 4x12 cabinet rather than two like it should have. Like, mental. Do anything on that. A 402 ST. I think a 402 will be fucking expensive. That's a really. It's going to be a 102 or a 002. But maybe if he's got one, I'll swap it for something. I quite fancy. No, I don't need any more I've got enough Telecasters. There's enough Telecasters. I don't want to buy this one. It's a through neck Eastwood monolith. It's called. I need to put it on fucking eBay to sell it because nobody round about here knows what it is. So I've tried selling it before and it's like no interest at all. And you're like, really? That's called the guitar's called the monolith. Do you get that? It's actually called a monolith. Like, surely that's got to be worth it. A 311, fucking amazing. Bet you that's amazing. Oh, you absolutely stole that. Ian, that's fantastic. Never played one, but I'm just assuming it's amazing because the 3 Series is the sort of the luxury one, I suppose, whereas the 111 would be the sort of basic-y one. So it's probably, I say the tuners are fucked on it. I don't know. Don't have neighbours, lucky bastard. Well, I've got old neighbours, so that's kind of all right. So I don't really play that much loud music anymore. I used to. My God, I used to fucking have jams at my if you look back, 4 years ago in my videos when I was at my mum and dad's house, it was like I had a drum kit. Like not an electric drum. I had an electric drum kit as well, but I had a real drum kit before that. I used to rehearse with the band, and you'd be standing all about 2 feet apart like that, trying to kind of lean over the sofas and stuff to try and fit in and record it. There are some videos of that. I need to look it out. I remember there being an amazing video. I got my wee brother to film it because he's into films. Had a video camera back in the day, and we were playing 9 Feet Underground by Caravan with all the shit. And I even had it wasn't a Yamaha Electone organ, but it was something like that. The keyboard player was playing that. It was great. Pacifica still goes for £600, yeah. Through the walls of vet surgery, but the hospital section is the other side of the building, and that 8-foot thick wall means I don't disturb them. Well, even then, as long as you don't hear a vet surgery, I can imagine that could be quite horrible. You're just going, well, you're not going to be going to bed because they're not going to be operating in the middle of the night. But if you're on night shifts, you know what I mean? It's like, I've just finished, it's 6 o'clock on a Sunday morning, I've just finished, I'll just go to bed, and the next door there's dogs and shit getting operated on. I don't know, do they bother putting them to sleep? Probably. Just pure screaming. Sounds mental. That fag wasn't enough. I'm going to have to roll another one. It was only half a fag, after all. So I'll go for my forward position. I do actually quite like that. It's quite classy, isn't it? See if it was an electric guitar. It's an acoustic, which is fine. Yeah. It's like, you've got a guitar. Oh, what kind of guitar you've got? Oh, it's an acoustic. Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah, no, that's really cool. You can always tell whether someone's got how into guitar someone is. What kind of guitar you've got? I've got an electroacoustic. Okay. You don't play the guitar very much, do you? You don't know anything about this. An electroacoustic is not a thing. It's just an acoustic with a pickup in it, which is fine, but I understand because I remember the days when it was like, oh, what's the difference between, like a semi-acoustic and an electroacoustic? A semi-acoustic, obviously, we all know is a 335 type thing, whereas an electroacoustic is. Would you even bother calling it a semi? It's so nice when you hear an injured dog arriving at the front door. Fantastic. Actually, my pal, I don't know, they don't live there anymore, but my pal Davey, his Mo's cousin, used to live in Rob Royston, and the house was it? No, they didn't live there. It was his mum and dad, or his wife's mum and dad, Sarah's mum and dad, lived in the right after Magnet it used to be a doctor's surgery, right? So you went in and it had been converted into a house. It was no longer a doctor's surgery. So you would sit there. It was totally cool because downstairs there was like a sort of, the living room was huge, and then it had a sort of staircase going up the outside like a cowboy hotel. You had a sort of landing that you could see with like a handrail on it, and then rooms going in. And hear stories about them coming down, coming down at lunchtime, and it would just be like folks sitting in their living room like that because they'd gone to the doctors and the doctors moved and they hadn't locked the front door, so people would just be sitting in the waiting room, which was actually the living room, kind of sitting there going, "It's a bit upmarket. I don't see any golf magazines, and there's like a TV and stuff. This is quite strange." Yeah. Sort of burnt orange colour. I think that's exactly the colour they are. Anyone I've seen has been burnt orange. It's just like, fuck you, cats. It shows you're discerning. The problem with driving a Panda is if anyone doesn't know a modern Panda, and I'm talking about one after about 2000, that's fucking great wee car. All my cars I had when I was a kid, when I was growing up, were all ex-company cars, Ford rides and all that. So I've had big cars. I mean, fucking thing's great. You can say so much about it. Used to work for Magnet. There you go. I've actually had to find out recently when I was actually going to that camping thing. I was like, oh, I've got a fleece sitting in it. It was a Magnet trade fleece. So apparently I got a fleece for something. Never worked there, but used to buy kitchens off them when I was working with my dad. So obviously there was a point where you could win a fleece or something. So I had one. That's what my fleece is actually a Magnet one. The first guitar in 72, it was plastic. I was 3, not impressed. There you go. Now how old you are now. That's all right. I know your name as well. Can't remember what it is just now, but I do know. Now, my first guitar was a Honor Rockwood LX91, and it was the neck on it was bent, so that's why I had to play Black Sabbath, because it only worked up here. All these frets just buzzed. You had to be up above the 5th before it didn't buzz. Then my second guitar was a Yamaha RGX 321P, which at a Floyd Rose, I had no idea what a Floyd Rose was, so either it was tuned where the bridge was sitting like that, or like that inside the body. It was shit. And then my next one was I bought a Yamaha acoustic, which was fine. And then I got my Epron SG on my 20th birthday. 18th birthday, 1996. My 18th birthday, I got my Epron SG, still got it. Got to get off the caffeine, picking fights with everyone. Oh, so is caffeine a bad thing? I don't know. The problem with Panda is it's a Fiat fucking Italian afterthought. Lol. No, it's fix it again, Tony. Is what a Fiat stands for. Same with Ford is frequently on repair detail. But fix it again, Tony. Yeah. Fuck you, bastards. Spike the likes. Not all of you have. But yeah, no. I see the first Panda I had, my wee brother had one. I used to laugh at it. And then he left home and I stayed, and then it sat in the top of the drive for, I don't know, a year or something. And it was crap, and it was just sat there, and he'd moved out, and I was like, well, fucking might as well just MOT it. And it was fucking all right. Drive it, use it as a works car. And that's the third one. I'm now on the third one. And it was like, it's surprising because, no, actually, when he still had it running, I remember going to the eat as much as you can buffet thing in Bishop Briggs, and he was driving, and he was like, well, take all of you. And it was like, oh, and that wee puffy thing, you can't fit people out of it. It sat in the back, and it was like, this is actually not pure shit. I like it. It's like, good. Easier to store tins in a magnet kitchen? I don't know. Okay. Used to give away fleeces t-shirts with magnet trade on them. Maybe that's exactly where I got mine from. My ex-wife brother had a little plastic acousticated, sounded great actually. Hey Steve Zero. Was a wee classical, then a Marlin. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh God, you sent an 83. Oh, an 83 Tokai Strat. Bastard. Victor Morse, I bet he gave you like 30 quid for it as well. Bastards. Victor Morris was a horrible place. It's to buy guns for robbing banks for Victor Morris. That's the place. Yep. I actually bought my SG, Epiphone SG, from Victor Morris, or not Victor Morris, but there used to be a shop like 2 doors along called The Guitar Store, which was owned by the same people. That's where I bought my SG. No, I actually bought it was before that. I bought my Epiphone SG in Victor Morris. And I didn't want to. It was 20 quid cheaper than it was in Merchant City. Merchant City, all the guys worked in that were brilliant. The guy in Victor Morris was an absolute twat. I still want to punch him. He tried to sell me an Ibanez Ghost Rider, Ghost Dance, one of those. It was lovely. It was 500 quid though, and it's like I had literally 230 quid or something like that, so I literally couldn't afford that in any way, and I couldn't afford to buy it in Merchant City because the extra 20 quid that it was more than it was in Victor Morris was a whole weekend of hash and booze, which I couldn't. I wanted that, so I bought it in Victor Morris, even though the guy was an absolute prick, fucking arsehole. I don't know. I assume he used to wear a Babylon 5 t-shirt, which always pissed me off because I always liked Babylon 5, and that guy put me off it because he was such a dick. Argos Classico 1997. Well, I mean, yeah, the thing I always felt, see, the really cheap wee shitty nylon string classical guitars, they can kind of, if you fanny about it, just learn how to play it and stretch the strings, and they actually sound not bad. They don't sound horrible. You know, it's quite a pleasant sound. Victor Morris for guitar strings and machetes. Well, yeah, you just go in there. There was the only place we had in town that actually sold realistic guitars, though. I remember because they always had quite a few. I remember them having one of them, but it was the BBR one, you know, with the red liner. It was 250 quid, and I just thought that looks mental. But they had, I bought my Aria ZZB in there for 80 quid. You know, it's like they had their second-hand shit because it was all stolen and stuff. So, I mean, they had good stuff. They just that you had to really know what it was you were looking at before you went into the shop, because they had stuff that was like more expensive than it was new. You know, it was used and it had fag burns and stuff in it. It was more expensive than a new one in sound control, so you had to be a wee bit on your edge. Yeah, I got across it. Got £90 for my Tokai. Oh my god, that's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking, Sloan Ranger. I know. I remember my pal taking, what kind of guitar was it? It was a Westfield. It was a Westfield Strat. It was lovely, a lovely wee Strat. And I remember, and it was only 6 months old or something like that. I remember him taking it into Victor Morris because he came out. He's like, with a guitar, Malcolm, please just buy it. They offered me 20 quid for it. Could you just give me it? And it was like, I just don't have 20 quid. So he had to accept it because he needed the money. And it was just like, obviously it would be 150 quid later. As a beginner, it sounded horrible. Yeah, but it's a pleasant horrible. The general dealer in the Barras, I'd bought quite a few guitars in the or not guitars. I remember, have you ever seen the Not the 9 o'clock news sketch where the guy, I think it's Mel Smith, goes in and he's asking for a stereo, and the guys are pure dicks. But how many watts do you want? He's like, up here, oh, I don't know, about 3. And they're like, 1,000. And I'm just laughing at him. And do you want? And basically, I went in and I was like, up here, yeah, I'm looking at these record players. And the guy's like, up here, those aren't record players, those are turntables. Use an amp with them. And I was just like, oh my god, I didn't say this, but in my head I went, you fucking prick, and just left. Because, like, yeah, I knew that. I'm sorry. I call that a record player, all right? Not a turntable. It's a record player. Yes, it doesn't have an amp built in. You need an amp and speakers. It's still a fucking record player. And the guy was an absolute fanny, so I didn't like that shop. But I did end up buying stuff. Any Alfa Romeo fans? God. General Jerry used to be the mad buyer, and then he burned his shop down for the insurance money. That's possible. There used to be a shop about 3 doors along as well, where a guy used to watch horse racing constantly. Used to have guitars as well. That's the first time I ever saw a Westtone Dynasty. There was one of them in the wall in there for 250 quid for years. And they had an actual Gibson. It was called a Ripper bass. And it was like metal flake paint. It was fretless. It was only 200 quid for an actual Gibson Ripper. And it was there for the whole time. I remember the shop being there. I never got as far as the guitar dealer at the Barras. The guitar dealer at the Barras wasn't really in the Barras. It was kind of at the very start, but where Ship Capass is. Used to be there. Actually, no. I went to school with a guy. What was his name? Murph. So I assume his second name was Murphy. He was a year above me. He still works in there because about 5 years ago, 10 years ago, I went in and it was still fucking him. And I always remember the Bill's tool store van parked outside his house in Lindsay, or what I assume was his house. But I think Bill was his dad. I think his name was Murphy, maybe. I don't know. My uncle in Alfa Romeo sitting in the driver's seat. He could touch the rotary. He's out the window. Wow. I thought you were going to say Bill's tool store is bollocks. No, it's the bollocks. Totally is. I got guitar files in there. No, Bill's tool store is proper great. I remember my papa, because I had a grandpa and a papa and a grandma and a granny. I think I don't know, they worked it out because I was the oldest of all the kids born, and I think my papa was like, I want to be called Papa. Like, okay, so I never had Granny 1 and Granny 2. I had Granny and Grandma. I was like, oh, you're going to your grandma's? No, I'm going to Granny's. So I had 2, and then it was Grandma and Papa and Granny and Grandpa. So there you go. He used to always go there, but he always liked it because you could buy the number of screws you needed. So you needed 20 screws to build something. You could go in there and just buy 20 out of a box, 20, or you buy 22 in case you broke one, sort of thing, rather than having to buy a box of 50 or whatever. Or if you only needed 2, you could go in and just buy 2. It's still a bit like that. I bought an Arbiter SG from the general dealer at the same time it was raided by the police. Wow, I didn't know that. You never mentioned that, Scott. I've got an Arbiter Flying V. RGM Kelly. That's that wee shop. I don't know. All the ex-MOT stuff. Still sons out there. Still paying off student loans, had to emigrate. Yeah. I'd actually got a grant the first year I was in at uni. It was £18 for the year. Which, to be honest, a tenner of that went in one whole payment, and it just happened to come in the week that Ozzy Osbourne was playing the Barras, so I got to see Ozzy Osbourne play the Barras, which is fucking amazing. Best gig ever? Maybe. It was an SG with a Strat headstock. I know the thing. I know the one. Yeah, Scott. I know the one. Aye, but it's not one of the Matsumoku ones. I know the one you mean. I've seen it. It's kind of like one of those the Kawai or the top 20 guitars. I've had a couple of them through. Basically that, but roughly SG shaped. Did I not have one recently, actually? Did the guy from the Bucky Rage not have one? Like 6 months ago? Single coil pickup in the neck. Broadly kind of SG shaped, but one of those top 20 things. I quite liked it, to be honest. But then again, I kind of know how to set these things up, and I know what to expect because I expected it to be absolute shit. I found it quirky. It's like, what, fuzz pedal, play some White Stripes. Here we go. You know what I mean? But actually play real music on it. No. I always remember the general dealer having a Watkins Rapier for years. I'd always quite fancied the Watkins Rapier. I've never actually had one that worked. But I remember buying one and the serial number was something stupid. It was like 006 or something like that. And it was fucking burnt to fuck. It had the bridge and the neck. That was it. So body, bridge, neck, nothing else. And I was going to sort of do it up. And I started looking up bits to make it original. It was going to cost hundreds of pounds to make it work. And I was like, pure well. So I just stuck it on eBay and got 150 quid for it. when I got it for free. Got all my AF spanners out of there, but I still have those Dilson wrenches, 2-star solid tools for Halford's money. Yeah. If I was going to buy something, I couldn't stop laughing at him. What's in the bag? The wee Japanese strap. He wasn't lying. The guy's he was a fan. That was the guy I went round and I bought that Telecaster of from my pal Wayne, and he sent me round because he's from down in Leicester. And he sent me round, and the guy opened the door and was you're Mad Malco. And I was like, I wasn't wearing this t-shirt. That pair, yeah. I watch your videos. Oh, no way. Is that you're here for the guitar? Your pal Wayne. I was like, aye. Because he'd never twigged that he's sending his pal Malco around, never assumed it was me. He tried to sell it on Gumtree. I remember I couldn't find the advert, but I could find remnants of the advert. It was 150 quid he wanted for it because it was Japanese, because somebody he'd bought it from some eBay site called Vintage and Rare or something like that, and it was like, oh, they said it was Japanese, and it's like, it's not fucking Japanese. But he didn't sell it for that much. He basically sold it to me, and I was like, he just messaged me because I had he had my phone number from a text message from when I went to pick up that guitar for Wayne, and he's like, got this gold, and I was like, shouldn't have bought it, but I had to. He was a fan. But he wasn't lying, he was just wrong. But I think the reason he pulled it off Gumtree was because so many folk probably contacted him and told him what it was. But when I told him, when I went and picked up the guitar off for Wayne, like a month ago or something, he was like, I've got this wee go. It's just, I tell he's quite nice now, but it's like, it's not really my thing. I've really got this really amazing Japanese gold. I was looking at that. Oh, it was great. No Japanese. It's an alright wee strap. It's nice. It's not nice enough for me to be really interested in it. I'm sorry. Money in school, eh? I don't know. I don't even know what it is you're talking about with these AF span. I don't even know what AF spanners are. I'm sorry. Talk to me about guitar parts. I don't know what that is. But I do. I remember I was going to buy a welding mask at one point, and it's like they were the same price as they were on eBay. Because I started welding. I had to weld a steel frame for my dad's house, and I had like a fucking shit plastic thing, kind of look like, you know, those masks they wear in with a stick on it. What's that Stanley Kubrick film, the really shit one with Tom Cruise in it? Eyes Wide Shut, like that. So you had to kind of hold it, and then it didn't. The screen was terrible, and they had one that was like shaped like a motorbike helmet, but it had like a Polaroid thing, so you could look through it and you could still see through it. And then when you hit the welding arc on, which was really bright, it would automatically dim, and it was only 30 quid or something. Should have bought it, but I didn't. Oh. I'm Scottish, left university debt free. Yeah, Scott. Okay, when I didn't leave university debt free, but I didn't have to pay for university. There was this option of getting student loans. What, I could just get money for basically buying my Epiphone SG and drinking. So I took it. Bye, Kit Kats. I'll look at. I'll get. The next 2 weeks will be nothing but Telecaster videos just for you. Malcolm a full wall of tellies. It's a level of petty I can respect. As long as you appreciate how petty it was. It wasn't meant to be funny. It was meant to be petty. Yeah. Maybe play some Tom Petty on it. I can't remember how to play that, but I do love Tom. I bought a Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers greatest hits, and it was fucking great. There's a lot of Tom Petty stuff I've got a lot of time for. But yeah, no, I think it's still free to university in Scotland. I'm not sure. American Girl, yeah, pure. I can't. Was that the song I was playing? I remember playing along with the CD and being pure amazed that I could play every song first go. I just can't remember how to play. I was like, you. Sun came out and everything's wonderful. Crying. No, I won't back down. I won't back down. Yeah, no, there are 10 Tom Petty songs that are fucking great. Most courses are filled up with page tunes. Is that how it works? I don't know how it works. I won't back down. There's a good 10. Free falling. It's learning to fly. I can't remember the chords now, but I got it out on a lonely road. I backed it up and went back round. So I'm learning to fly, but I ain't got wings. That was one of my favourite ever songs to play in an acoustic. You can pure batter the fuck out of it. Oh, I don't know any John Mayer at all. I know Free Falling, but these are songs. These are Refugee was like, yo, fucking great. The Travel Wilburys. What I didn't realise, which is so fucking obvious, when I watched a thing about it was all the things that Jeff Lynne had produced. And it was like, how did I never notice? I mean, obviously I knew Jeff Lynne and Tom Petty were in the, in the Traveling Wilburys. It's so fucking obvious. Also, that Roy Orbison album here. Roy Orbison was, it's like, you listen, all right, the Anything You Want, you got it. That, it's like, oh my God, it's so Jeff Lynne. It's stupid how ELO-y it is. And the same with all the Tom Petty stuff with Jeff Lynne on it, like that Free Falling album, whatever one it was that was on. And the one that's, I can probably still remember how to play it. That's Sweet Home Alabama. I've been down with it every kind of time with it around, been trying to never be around. That one, which is totally exactly the same as the Chili Peppers song, when I decided when I fell out of love with the Chili Peppers, because I didn't like the Chili Peppers when Sex Sugar Blood Sugar Sex Magic, when that was out, I didn't really like the Chili Peppers. I didn't like Under the Bridge, even though everyone else did. And then Californication, it's fucking really good. Too long though. And then I bought By the Way, fucking great. Too long though. And then when that that one was up here, that's fucking Last Dance with Mary Jane from like the Danny California or something like that. It's fucking exactly the same song. It's like, even see the lyrics are the same. It's the same fucking song. And that's put me off the Chili Peppers, and I've never really gone back to them. I even got a free album when I went to see Baby Metal, who were supporting the Chili Peppers. And it was like, I'd ordered the ticket online. And it was like, yeah, here. We really want you to have our new album. So you can either pay £1 postage and packaging for the CD, or we'll give you this code for a download. So I downloaded it, never listened to it. It was shit. Oh. Small Faces Rolling Over. Is that on Organs Nut Gone Flake? That album is a banging, amazing one. ELO, fucking brilliant. Yes, some, not all of it. I don't love all ELO, but I mean, I love I'm not going to be able to play it. Time, that album, I never liked it at the start. I used to like him. I can remember Face the Music. I always liked ELO 2 as well, and ELO 1. Never so big on Out the Blue, but ELO 1, ELO 2, Face the Music, and Time. time is fucking great. It's pure synthesizer-tastic, but wow, fucking amazing. Oh, good bit of Jeff Lynne at home. He wanders from room to room recording because there are mics in every room. Well, fair enough. Tom Petty is underrated. Probably. Tom Petty's in the film The Postman. Has anyone ever seen the film The Postman, which is basically Waterworld combined with Mad Max and about 5 years after? Tom Petty's one of the main characters. He's brilliant. Red Hot Chili's is blackface. Steve Barrett. No, I mean, that Organ's Not Got Flake blew my mind. That's an amazing album. And there's some of that semi-live on some Top of the Pops thing. I remember getting the DVD or a bootleg DVD. He still had the Tavern Wilbur's guitar, or the wee Gretsch one. I remember seeing that, one of them in cash converters on Renfield Street. Whatever it is, the one that's got cash converters on it, it's still there. Might be Renfield Street, whatever it is. Frequency works better. It's Stanley Irwin is the guy's name. He's also, years later, I saw him in a Carry On film, a black and white Carry On film that's actually really funny. Some of the Carry On films are really funny. It's one of them. I can't remember. They're like helpers. It's like a group of odd job folk or something that get hired, and Stanley Irwin's in it, and he's everybody's talking to them, telling them what to do to this house, and they're trying to do it up, but it's pure fucked up, and they pure end up destroying it. And it was like, what he actually meant was, for the probably sitting too comfortably, too squared on your body, all that shit. That guy, yeah. Do ya ELO? Do ya as a move song? Every night I can see one. I sing down as burning in the sky above. Nothing cause I never felt nothing like you. Do you want my love? Do you want my face? Yeah. So basically my problem with ELO is, see the Last Move album, which is called Message from the Country. That one. Jeff Lynne, Roy Woods, Bev Bevan. That album is fucking amazing. If you can ever find The Move, Message from the Country, it's even better than ELO 1, which I think was actually recorded before it. What happened was they had a contract with some record label, and they had to put out a song just to end the contract, just a single, and they put out California Man, which was a big hit. But they'd already done ELO 1, and they were like, oh, no, we've got a new band. And it was like, so for the money, they did a whole Move album after ELO 1, and that's what that is. It's fucking great. Oh. Do ya as the Move? Yes. But it's a big hit for it was a big hit for it was the Jeff Lynne redid it later on. Yeah. It's Living Thing though. Hey front row, how's it going? I still get your Stag Strat somewhere and probably something else, but yeah. Carry on regardless. It very well could be. The Move, Flowers in the Rain. I think it was Blackberry Way was the first song played in Rodeo 1. I do like California Man, covered by Cheap Trick. I prefer it. No. Cheap Trick are one of those ones. Cheap Trick, I've got two songs that I know. One of them I absolutely love called The Dream Police, and one of them I absolutely hate, which is I Want You to Want Me. I hate that fucking song, but I really love The Dream Police. So Cheap Trick are still in the balance, but I can't believe it's as good as the Move version of California Man. Flowers in the Rain it was it? There you go. Parked the morning, half asleep, with all my blankets in a heap, and yellow roses scattered all around, round. I can't remember that song. Round, and I can change to the ground, when I could jump and never jumped, and I can feel the time the joy of feeling. I'm just sitting, watching flowers in the rain, see the color of the grain, watching the garden grow. And I'm just sitting, watching flowers in the rain, bouncing out of the rain. The Move are fucking amazing and totally so underrated. It's ridiculous. What was this Move song I was trying to play the other day? Cast your mind back 10 years to a girl who's next to you at school. When I put my hand upon her head, she hit me with a rule. Though tomorrow won't be long, we're gonna have to play it cool. You'll be fascinated by her. You can set the place on fire. Get the fire brigade, get the fire brigade. See the building start to really burn. Get the fire brigade, get the fire brigade. If you jump, you've got to wait your turn. Those are got to wait your turn. It could be Flowers in the Rain. I thought it was Blackberry Way though, but there you go. Could be Flowers in the Rain. Hey, Move stuff is amazing. There's so many good ones. I was just like, can you hear the grass grow? Can you hear the grass? My head's attracted to a magnetic wave of sound. Got a colored people walking the way around. Can you hear the grass grow? Can you hear the grass grow? I see rainbows in the morning. Did it? There you go. I might be. It's not Blackberry Way then. It must be Flowers in the Rain then. 3 years? Really? That's it. Wow. Cherry Bottom Classic. Yeah, totally. And revisited as well, totally. The problem I've got with the Move is they did go in, they started turning into Wizard a bit. There's a few songs like Brontosaurus, which are like that whole Wizard saxophones 50s thing didn't really get me, but all the other stuff, fucking amazing. Planning on giving you a visit this Thursday and pick up Stag Strat. I'll give you a text week. Do that, yeah. Carol Wayne. Was he's the main singer? Yeah. I think there was problem. The bass player in the Move was fucking amazing as well. The Move, they were so good, but I think they just had a really shit record deal, so they never got anywhere. You know, like I remember hearing that Roy Wood gave up all his publishing royalties from the Move to buy a Bang & Olufsen reel-to-reel tape recorder so he could do overdubs himself, but he just gave away all of that stuff. Massachusetts was the second record played in Radio 1. Oh, there you go. The early 70s saw so many good 60s bands change direction. I suppose, yeah, the thing about the Move is the Move were really, really fucking heavy, pure attacking. I bought a CD called Movements, the Anthology, which was a 3 CD thing, and it was fucking amazing. And I've since bought most of the Move albums, but their albums were not shit, but didn't have all the stuff on it. You needed to have the albums and the singles, which is why that CD worked really well. A lot of the best songs weren't on the albums, and the albums seemed to be a bit iffy. I mean, even that Message from the Country one I was talking about, I don't have it as Message from the Country. I know it as the Move On, it's called, which has got side 1 and 2 are Message from the Country, but at the end of both sides, it's got the California Man single, and I can't remember, is it Do Ya as the single on the other side? So you get the single and the B side on the end of either side, and it's like one of your mid-price classics or something like that. But it's fucking amazing. If only they'd done that well. But I mean, the Bee Gees as well. The Bee Gees have got some awful fucking good stuff which just comes out of nowhere. Really good. Carol Wayne started turning away. I know there was a band called Carol Wayne and the Vikings. Don't know anything about them, but I know that's who he was. The New Faces theme tune. I don't know what the new thing. I assume he's dead. Walk upon the water. Kilroy was here, left his name around the place. No, was it? I used to be able to play a couple of them. Right into the yellow rainbow, just in case the world should fall. And if I'm my yellow rainbow, you can save us all. But there's honestly, that CD I had in the car was pure mind blowing. How many fucking amazing songs were as good as the big hits by the Beatles and the Stones were? It's just, you're a star, brand new suit and a new guitar. Yeah. Yeah. And they did a version of what's the Birds song. It wasn't 8 Miles High. What was this? So you want to be a rock and roll star, and you know what you are, you're a rock and roll. That one, fucking yes. One simple trick will make you a better guitar player. Honestly, Mr. Whitesnake, the one single trick that makes you a better guitar player is play songs you fucking love. I think. Catch you later, Ben. We're having dinner. Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm fair tanning into this bucky and I'm quite fucked. It's only 10 o'clock though. So I don't know. I can't stop before 11, can I? Bastard. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'll have another fag. That might slow me down a little bit. I don't think I've got any other booze. I should really have emergency cans of cider or something like that, just in case it happens. But I mean, if we're talking about the move are fucking amazing. Get a grip. I've been drinking too fast. That's if anything, too butch. I mean, I'm going to say smoke weed. I don't know if you want to do that, man. Fuck's sake. I just sit there. Ooh. Got some fake meatballs. I don't believe you. And when I was in China, Civet bought faking. Oh, this tastes really. It was faking and hot dogs, vegan hot dogs, and it was just no. It's like, my point at the time was, I don't mind vegan food, right? See something like that doesn't have meat in it anyway, that's fine. I'm quite happy having a fried rice with, a vegetable chow mein. That's fucking fine. Or, something that just doesn't have meat in it. What I don't want is steak. I don't want vegan steak. I'm quite happy eating things that just don't have meat in them. I just don't like eating things that are meant to have meat in them, but instead they've got something shite. I have eaten, but not enough. I had a visitor at 7 o'clock. Didn't go away till 1:45. Then I rapidly ate a microwave sausage and mash thing. So, yeah, I was really fucking ill last Monday. Let's not beat around the bush. Drinking is something you've got to really be properly committed to if you're going to be able to do it all the time. Faking sandwiches. Fake on. The best fake bacon or frazzles. Well, no. Tracastrine. I fucking forgot what they're called. Used to get them in the pound shop. They did the scampi fries and the bacon ones of them. Whatever they were, I think they were just called bacon fries. They fucking frazzles. Fuck frazzles. Those bacon fries are pure amazing, especially when you bought a 6-pack of them, which used to be £1 and B&M and all that. They were fucking amazing because you'd eat the scampi fries and then be a bit sick of the scampi fries, so you could eat a packet of the bacon fries, and then by the time you got 10, you'd be a bit sick of them. You could eat a packet of the scampi fries, and you could basically just eat the whole 6-pack and no bother at all. TV dinners. I don't know what rancheros are. Awesome ZZ Top song. Is it about Pervin? Yeah, the guy I was talking to was the bass player in the other band we played with for the Sabbath band. Jinx was saying he's in a ZZ Top tribute band, but he gets wedding band money for it. They've even got a polystyrene cactus to take on stage. He gets £400 a night playing. It was like, to be honest, if I could get, I don't mind playing ZZ Top. Not the worst thing. For £400 a gig, I'd do that. I'd probably play quite a lot of things for £400 a gig. I wouldn't play Oasis. I think my soul wouldn't be able to take it. But there's most other things, just playing the bass in it. Aye. But it's like really, all ZZ Top songs are all pervy. Really, which I wasn't really aware of. It was when I had the ZZB and the ZZ guitar. I was like to Scott when I got the guitars. We need to do a jam. One of us play the bass, one of us play the guitar. We'll play a ZZ Top song. And Scott's like, yeah. I was like, yeah, we'll do cool cheap sunglasses. And he was like, it's a bit pervy though. And I was like, what is it? That's like, I thought, being the naive person I am, I thought, cool cheap sunglasses. Yeah, totally buy cool cheap looking sunglasses and just look cool. And it's like, no, it's for looking down like girls' tops and stuff, but they can't see you because you're wearing sunglasses. Oh, is it? Kind of ruins ZZ Top for me a little bit, and then you start thinking about the other ZZ Top songs like Tush and all that. And you're like, all right, that's about pervert as well, and it's like all the song Legs. She knows how to use them. That's quite funny, but the rest is dirty, and you're like, yeah, kind of lost it a bit. You don't know what frazzles are, really? Wow. Oh. What's-its? I have never enjoyed a what's-it. Cheese. I like cheese. Pretty much all types of cheese. Cheese, what's-its? No. Any cheese crisps? I can maybe accept the cheese Doritos. But macaroni cheese, I don't know why. Because I like cheese. And I like pasta, so how do I not like that? I don't know. How come Flaming Hot Monster Munch have gone? I know that they have. Well, they've not gone in Monster Claws, because they've actually turned into the best. I never used to like. I used to buy multi-packs of Monster Munch. The ones that were always left were the Flaming Hot ones, because I didn't really like them. That one's actually opened already. So that's just going straight in the bin. But these are the best of the Flaming Hot ones. I could smell them. I could smell that the other night. So I can smell crisps. It's because one of them was burst. Yeah. Chuck Berry songs, what, Sweet Little 16? You're like, uh-huh. Yeah, I know. It's just, I don't know, it's just, maybe, to be honest, like, lyrics are very, very much not even secondary in any song I like. I mean, look at something like Baby Metal. I don't know what any of the lyrics are because they're in Japanese. So it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really mean into me, lyrics, very much. I like a good tune. And unfortunately, it does come down to, if you want to pearl, it's like, yeah, really? Oh. Mr. Whitesnake, you can sit there wrapped in your tarp and say you don't do pervy? Really? I made a South Indian fish curry. Fish curry? I mean, fish supper. Aye. Fish curry. Seems like a good way to ruin a curry, to be honest. Hey, Errol, you never tried mac and cheese? I have never had to sit through all of it, but it's horrible. It's not nice at all. How some topics have gone. What topics? I mean, topics for singing. I think you still get the biscuits. I remember from my mum's 40th birthday buying her a topic. I know it's your birthday. I didn't really get you in good, but I got you this topic, and she was like, brilliant, and ate it, and was really happy with that. Best birthday present you ever had. There you go. Hey, Joachim, you're still here? I thought you'd gone to bed because it's dark. Got the ZZ Top keyring. My days at Warner Music were put to Porsche keyring. Had to go Afterburner concert with no expectations, but it was actually okay. I've never seen them. ZZ Top. And older my friend said banana Muller rice. Had one mouthful, spat it, and said it was monkey puke. Well, there you go. I mean, banana milk. I haven't done it for years, but I used to always try and get a banana milkshake in McDonald's. I don't even think you get McDonald's. I don't even know if you get milkshakes at McDonald's. It's probably 10, 15 years ago last time I did it. I think one of the last times I did it was the one on Argyle Street. And The guy was like that, pure. I don't think the machine's working. He put it in and it went and just fired a solid lump like that of solid ice cream in it. And he was like that, pure. Well, I can't really sell you this. Like, you give it, so he gave it to me, and it took me about an hour to eat it. It was amazing. It was just like concentrated banana milkshake. Well, macaroni and cheese with crispy bacon and grilled tomato is the ultimate comfort food. But if it's got bacon in it, it's not macaroni and cheese anymore. Maybe. I don't know. The police don't stand so close to me as if a teacher perving over a schoolgirl student. Stop ruining things. I'm not a huge police fan, although I do like the Sue Lolly one. Tulale! 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 When someone told me yesterday that when you brought to... But that's not Don't Stand So Close to Me. I don't know how you play that one. Just be grateful he said puking, not spunk. Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, no, always look on the bright side. I agree. There you go, huh? Quite fish sauce is quite... I had 4 fried chicken legs from Churches last week. Good going down, not so much coming out. Once a year thing. I like mac, I like cheese, I want them both together. Well, yeah, I know. Yeah, totally. I mean, maybe I've just never had. I mean, I think, to be honest, the one I bought was, I've tried the Kraft, is it called cheesy pasta, which is kind of macaroni and cheese you get in a cardboard box. I remember getting given that one time when I was staying at someone's house, and it was fucking rank. And I think I bought a macaroni cheese pie, which is like a Scotch pie, but it's got macaroni in it. It was fucking awful, man. It was horrible, man. Oh. Topic sweeties have been discontinued. Oh, there you go. I didn't know that. Topics used to have a hazelnut. Squirrel shite and a hazelnut in every bite. Now outraged at dark chocolate. I always like bounties. I've got a good joke about that as well. I was like, that pure was I was fucking a coconut last night and it really hurt. I was like, well, it's bounty. Yeah. Roxanne, no. The police have got a few good songs. Relatively recently, the last couple of years, I saw Synchronicity Part 1. The video for that's fucking great. Very Mad Maxy. Andy Summers is playing like a mad fish guitar. It's got like frets that are like a metal bar. Mental. I like that. My wife makes homemade bounties. They sound fucking amazing. Anything with coconut, it's great. I don't know Born in the 50s. ZZ Top concert after Burner Stockholm was a bit weird. Hearing too many instruments and only 3 people on stage at some sort of special laser show was cool. Okay, I know what you mean. Chocolate makes you fat. It affects the tone. Possibly. Every time I see Sting, I always call him Bellboy from Quadrophenia. See, I think is I was aware before. I probably knew who Sting was. I'd seen Quadrophenia, but then not long after that, I saw Dune, the original Dune film, and he's good in that. And it's like pure. Yeah, I'll get Fade Ruth. I've read the book, so I know the story. I just can't really remember the film. And he came out and he was wearing massive plastic underpants, and he was like kind of going. And it was like pure. He's funny as fuck. So I like Sting from them. I've not really heard enough Sting to truly hate him. I don't use fish sauce in my curry. No, fish sauce is different. Our oyster sauce, I know. I kind of get that. Not in bed yet, Malcolm, but yes, soon. Go for it. What's your opinion on sherbet dib dabs? They were good. I remember them. I liked the lemonade one best. I remember them. It was like a 2 sections that size, or probably that size now, and then at the end is a swizzle stick. Yes, I remember them. They were good fun. Homemade bounties are easy to make. Yes, I can think of them. Are they not? What's the difference between a bounty and a macaroon? Really? Apart from you don't put the shredded coconut on the outside. He was pushing Quadrophenia. See, Quadrophenia is a funny one because the album has amazing stuff on it, but it's a pure churn to listen to. There's so much of the record, the original Quadrophenia record, that is. It kind of goes ba, 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 as the C comes in. Ba, ba, ba. It seems to be mostly that. So you're like, let's put on a record. It's like pure, right, here we go. Bam, 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 bam. Pew, that's great. And then it's like pure with the C coming in. You're like, fuck off. We are a minute and a half of fucking incidental crap between the songs. Not as good as Tommy. The film Tommy is obviously, if you don't like Tommy, fuck off. Tommy's amazing. Love it. The choreographer Quad said he can't dance. Just another Manic Monday. It was just another Manic Monday. Oh, the Bangles has already been said. Yeah. The nicest thing ever is Chinese curry with king prawn balls. I don't even think prawns have got balls, so you wonder where they come from. Susanna Hoff? I don't know. 4'10". Susanna Hoff is a singer for the band. I mean, I kind of remember the Bangles being on Top of the Pops. They did Walk It Like an Egyptian. Is that Bananarama? I get the two of them mixed up. Who did? Venus, she got a dun 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 dun. Is that the Bangles? The two of them, I don't know the difference. I have a nice story about Tigers. It's a tad long for here. Is that about? I don't know. Roll up your skirt and let me inject you with my love. Working on a love song. Don't forget to like. Of course, Mr. White. That sounds great. The Real Me in 515. Yes. No, there's some great. I don't know what 515 was. What was the ones I liked? I like The Real Me. Oh, you said The Real Me, bastard. No, it's got some good bits. What I really wanted to hear was this was years ago when I had my quadraphonic set up. Originally, Quadrophenia was meant to be quadraphonic, and Pete Townsend spent half the time working on the album making the last song quadraphonic, right? And it would play the 4 themes. I can't remember because it used to be, the film doesn't really work this way, but the quadrophenia was like, instead of like schizophrenia, which is 2 personalities, it was 4. So there was like the bin man. There was one for each member of the band. And the end part of quadrophenia, apparently all 4 songs are playing one in each speaker at the same time, and they sync up and then merge together, which has never been released. My wife makes macaroon bars as well. That's why I'm fat. Well, fair enough. Worst things. Mashed potato fondant. I don't know. It's sick. Just don't tell me it's mashed potato fondant. The Bangles were a part of the early 80s LA Paisley Underground. I don't think you know what Paisley is. Paisley's a place here. Then early 80s LA and Paisley. Yeah, they don't go together. No. Punk Meets the Godfather. Is that the one that goes? My favourite one was dun dun dun. When I was whatever that one is. That's my favourite one, I think. Paisley is not the places that Prince believed in, possibly. I mean, I'm getting against Paisley. Paisley was all right. Don't get me wrong, the Pretenders play it. I'm sorry, I don't know the Pretenders. I can't even pretend that I know who the Pretenders are. Recognize the name, but I don't know, so much music is. I don't know. It was so early on that I realized that there's 2 different types of music. There's music I like and music I don't really care about, and it's like, so I only know the stuff I like. Other stuff that was popular at the time, and it was. But if I didn't like it, it didn't go into the memory banks. That's what I was saying about like something like brain salad surgery about ELP going back a couple of hours. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't. You could put it on right now, without showing me what the cover was, and I could probably tell you it was ELP or something. That's it. It wasn't catchy enough. I need music to be super catchy. Whether it's cheesy catchy, really weird catchy, it doesn't matter. It's got to be something that I remember. It's got to stick in my head. The original Jimmy from Quadrophenia was arrested so many times, and who bailed him out of court? Really? Didn't know that. He's in Zulu Dawn, I seem to remember. He was also in the Park Life video. I'd love to see Prince cut the out. I don't think you would see him. I think apparently he was only about 4 foot tall. ABBA, Summer Night City. I probably know it, Joachim, because it's some of the ABBA songs have the worst. Obviously, I know English isn't their first language. Some of the best ABBA songs, the reason they're not hits is because the words are fucking terrible. They've got a song called Dum Dum Diddle, and it's like, it's fucking amazing, but the words are literally dum dum diddle 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 dum dum. You're like, But the song's fucking great. Catch you later now. I've only got that much live stream left. I think I might just leave everyone wanting more. I might just finish this and leave. Wee Prince doing Fergie Park scoring hash. Yeah. I worked in Paisley for a year on Espadere Street, which is actually a book which I read while I was building flats on. Well, when I say I read it when I came home. I didn't read it because I was at work when I was at Paisley, but they were talking about a pizza shop. No, it's like fucking a pizza shop I get lunch in. Paisley is dangerous. I've seen people stabbed, thrown through windows, and run over. That was just in my street. Yeah, it's like some. I don't know. I mean, I was only ever really in Paisley during the day, although I did do a gig with Jessie Ray one time, and it was sick mental. Because we finished it, I don't know, playing in a wine bar. It was awful. A terrible gig. Someone had phoned the police on Jesse because he had a 6-foot claymore. And he was like, up, you're right. When the police come and I keep playing and I'll sing. He was obviously thinking of it as a sort of publicity stunt. So if the police come in and arrest me, just keep playing and I've got my radio mic, I'll sing in the back of the police van while I'm getting taken away. And we're like, okay. So we finished the gig and then we were basically driving out of Paisley. It's a bit of a one-way system and you're going out and there was just folk climbing lampposts, folk shagging and folk puking, like just in the 100 yards in the main street. Like this is at 11 o'clock at night. And there's like, proper folk going absolutely nuts. Older folk in their 50s and 60s going proper nuts. You're puking on the street and you're like driving past. Like, what the hell is this place? But when I was there during the day, that was fine. Apart from I remember the ice cream van going around, and the ice cream van would play its tune and stop. And then before the people who were buying ice cream, a car pulled up opposite and a poly bag got flung into the driver's seat, the thingman, and it was away. And then he would go and serve. So I don't know if the drugs of some sort. Summer Night City, I don't know what that is. Little Red Vauxhall Corsa. The Paisley design was used everywhere. Mid-60s, it was psychedelic. Not anymore, because I'll never find one. But the James Burton telly, the Paisley Telecaster's cool as fuck. I remember my pal had one. I think it was a Tokai. It was fucking. I always liked that. When I was in China, that was the one I was trying to find. I was like, oh, if I can get a copy of that, and they just looked terrible. When the guitars were right, but they hadn't nailed it at all. It was like far too much silver. Didn't look like James Burton's one, so it's like I didn't. But I would like one of the James Burton tellies. It's got to be the pink one. The blue one's not the same. He's not the Jimmy that was photographed for the Quadrophenia album. No, I know. It's Phil something. That's his name. He's in Park Life. Yeah. Yeah. No, I actually saw the Who in '97. The first time they played in years and years. Doing Quadrophenia. Must have been an anniversary of it. Down in Wembley Arena, and they had the guy from. There used to be a teenage Adrian Mole, was that a TV show? The guy playing Jimmy was the guy from Adrian Mole, the TV show with a bowl cut. And it was really fucking good. And Billy Idol was in it as well. And this was watching Quadrophenia, and it was fucking amazing. Paisley was at different Gangster Paradises, Paisley. Good pubs in Paisley. Paisley button down shirts. But it's just my passport says I was born in Paisley. Well, there you go. Paisley was famous for weaving, hence the Paisley pattern. The mills were all shut by the 80s, and it became an even bigger shithole since. Yeah, I didn't know that. I know that St. Mirren was the saint of Paisley, because there's a sign, there's a fucking concrete thing when you're sitting at the lights reading it. It's going St. Mirren, patron saint of Paisley. Hi. Want to buy a flat in Paisley? There's worse places. There are. Well, I don't know. It's one of these things that when you're there during the day, it's sometimes very different than it is at night. You know what I mean? So I don't know. The original Jimmy from Quadrophenia was not the actor you're thinking of. No, not from the. I don't even know who's in the original album. I don't know who that is, but it was definitely not Phil. I'm sure his name was Phil something. Phil Daniels. Is that his name? He was in the Blur Park Life video. He's from the film, and then when I saw him, it was the guy from that teenage. I can't even remember what it was called. The Diaries of Adrian Mole or something. Him played him when I saw him live. Oh, was born in Rutherglen. Wow. Thank goodness I put quite like Pollock. Pollock sounds a bit like Bollock, though. Honestly, Bollock shows. I can't see Pollock and not think Bollock. Worked in Rutherglen. It was the first place someone pulled a knife on me. Oh dear. It's like, why is the world such full of bastards? It's really annoying. I've not had a knife pulled on me. It's like coming from Lindsay, but even then, you're fucking Castle Milk. These are places that are pure terrible sounding. I only know these places from people telling me not to go to. How's the Pollock in Pollock? I don't know. That's South Side. There's not places you go. I mean, I'm fucking northwest Glasgow, but it's all nice. Love Pollock the fish. I can't remember. Have I caught Pollock before? I think I have. I think I used to catch them in Furness and Loch Fyne. I'm sure Pollock was one of the ones you used to catch when it wasn't mackerel. You would catch fish and go, "That's not a mackerel. What the fuck is that?" I was only born in Rutherglen. I'm from the old Darmarnock. I didn't even know. All these places sound dodgy as fuck. I worked in Rutherglen in the Clydesdale warehouse. Someone pulled a knife in me's head and I'm getting pulled. Man, I enjoy my sheltered life, living in the posh bit. No, I mean, I did get a fucking some cunt headed me for no reason at all. Knock that tooth out. That's why it's missing. So that's it. I don't even. These are places that I've seen on street signs, but I've not really any reason to go there. Right, joking. I'm not going to be up much longer. It's only 10:30. I can't end a live stream at 10:30, can I? Totally can. I don't know. I worked with, when I was working I remember working with folk. It was like, it's so important to people to be the pure hard man. And it's like, I remember working with a guy who fucking accused me of being a speedhead or something because I talk so much shit. Never take speed ever. I was like, every one of his stories involved some guy being a dick to him and him pure winning, being a pure. And it's like, all your stories seem to be the same, man. You don't get any stories that don't have some guy pretending to be pure clever and you. I just don't understand the mentality of it. Just because I didn't come from one of these places. I mean, again, it comes down to even like the fucking when I went to Lark Hall, whenever it was 6 months ago with Scott for the racing, the Skelectrix racing thing. and it was just the extremities of the orange order. I didn't even know that shit existed. I was aware you get Rangers fans and Celtic fans. I didn't never saw folk get fucking beaten up or shit. Folk shouting at each other, and kind of bizarre. Let's be honest, 95% of people are nice folk. It's the quality of the 5% bad pots. Well, yes, there is an element of that. I mean, I don't have when I started selling guitars on like Facebook Marketplace, because there was a video that went with the guitar of me demonstrating it, everyone that came to me was lovely. Oh, you lot. Do you know what I mean? Folk who go like that, pure fucking that guy with long hair. They didn't buy the guitars. It was folk that thought, went, all right, I can kind of get this guy. He's just been honest and a bit trying to be funny, sort of thing. That, yeah, totally. Might be offensive to some people, but not to one of us. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, so that's why I still prefer selling Marketplace rather than Gumtree or something a bit more anonymous, because you don't know who it is that's fucking buying it. I've come across very few arseholes selling guitars on Gumtree or on Facebook, because they generally kind of know who I am. Not that I'm fucking saying I'm a pure super celebrity, although I'm a bit of a celebrity. But it's like yeah, totally fine. It's like, you know how it acts. It's like, I'm not. This isn't an act. I'm not. What's that Warmouth switch £6? That's cheap. I don't know what that is. Pontiac. There's a pub cup. Used to have a bucket and draft, Marco. It's not that classy. Honestly, bucket on draft, I've never heard of that. I do know that Nice and Sleazy sells, or always did sell bucket by the glass. And I remember going in there one time, and it was like, I don't know, the first two glasses were just a glass of wine. That's fine. Yeah, I totally. When I went to the third glass, they fucking just emptied the bottle. It was about fucking half pint of the bastard and stuff. It nearly killed me. Yeah. That night I have to deal with some Germans in work tomorrow. They don't speak English, and nor do I. Well, that'll be fun. Ian, good luck. Germans are all right, probably. Walk the dark streets past the glory holes just to get some weed tarps all around the horrible place. I don't know what your street's like, Mr. Whitesnake. Because this is just people coming to buy weed off you, yeah. Don't mention the war, oh god. Oh, the odd, not Warmouth, Warman switch. Yes. The on switch, yes. No, that I thought that was pretty decent. I couldn't believe it was Josie Warman was the only person that sold them. They never used to be expensive. The first time I ever tried to put switches in a guitar, it was my BC Rich Warlock. No, Warlock Mockingbirds. And I obviously had 3 of them. And they weren't that expensive. And then they just kind of disappeared. And then I was trying to look for one because there was some specific I wanted to do in one of the JPACs that you just can't do with an on-off on. It needs an on-on. And Josie Warman was the only place I could find them at all. I think they were about a £5 each, £6 each, something like that. It was reasonable. I thought it's just when you're talking about buying the on switches or just the on switches, you can buy multiples of them because you buy them from China, and it's like, oh, they're a £5 each. Oh, you can buy 2 for £6, or you can buy 10 for £8. That kind of thing. Malcolm the influencer. I'm not influencing anyone. Am I? Maybe I am. I'm fucking probably sabotaging my own fucking ability to buy crazy cheap Japanese guitars. Things like this are just fucking most people don't know about. But well done playing the Warman. Warman is a pickup manufacturer, which is probably not Warmouth. It's a guy who actually got me into guitar wiring. He's a bit like us sort of thing. He's a bit mental. He makes pickups. I think he just gets them made in China, but they're fucking good for what they are. I don't have that many Warman pickups because I generally tend not to buy pickups very much. But if I was going to buy new pickups, it would be Warmans. There is a plan to try and one of the JPACs guitars, one of the fancy ones, I'm going to buy Warman pickups for it so that Josie Warman will obviously stick them on his Facebook page as, oh, here's a guitar that's got Warman pickups in it, whereas they've never really done that yet. But play the open at night, Nice and Sleazy's pretty good. I don't remember Nice and Sleazy's ever not existing, and I've never played there, but that was the place to play. It might still be. I mean, I wonder if I can get a gig in there with the Sabbath band. But that was, no, I have played there. I used to go to the acoustic jam, and I remember coming into Los Angeles. An open night acoustic thing, and the guy was totally like pure, handed his guitar back, and he was like, fucking hell, I can't believe he didn't make a string. But I know what I'm doing, it's fine. So I've never played there properly though. Worked in a porn store, don't get me started. No, I know. So I'm talking about my closest thing to going to a porn store. There used to be a record shop called the Lost Chord in the West End that I occasionally went into. And I think when I started off, it was mostly records. And then a year later, you went in, it was like, you'd be looking through records, and then you go, oh, these are porn magazines, secondhand porn mags. Like, and it was kind of bizarre. I think by the time, years later, it became basically mostly porn mags and some records. And it's just one of those things. It's like a record's just like, oh, a lot of people have, had that record out and they put it on. So I'm like, yeah, okay, it's fair enough. It's used. It's like a guitar. This guitar has been played by somebody else. Porn mag has been wanked over. I don't fancy that. It's like you try to peel the pages apart, the really good pages like that. No. It was actually Hugh Reid and the Velvet Underpants. I've got a tape that had Hugh Reid and the Velvet Underpants on one side and the Mac Lads on the other. Never really heard them. I've never heard or seen Adrian Legg before. The Mac Lads were funny though. I don't know Hugh Reid and the Velvet Underpants. I'm thinking of trying the bass. You get a bass? Fuck it, Alexander. Totally. Have you got anything that would suit me? I don't know. I'll get basses kicking about. I've got a really nice Jim Deacon bass, which I was going to get J-Packs, but I mean, it's just a black P bass. Pretty boring, but bass is fucking great. Yeah, Alexander, play the bass. Do what I did. You've been playing the guitar for a year or something. You've got sort of the gist of it. Maybe started playing a little bit of lead. Play the bass. Bass is fucking great. I just try not divide between the two. I don't understand. You get quite a lot of guitarists who just don't play the bass. You're like, what? Really? The other way around, if you're a bass player who doesn't play the guitar, I can kind of understand a bit because you get chord shapes and shit on a guitar, which you don't get in a bass. But lead guitar is bass. If you've seen the Black Sabbath band, you'll know that I basically play the same thing on the bass that I do the guitar, which is disgusting. Oh. Square P basses are fine, yeah, totally, but you can get better ones. Get a Jim Deacon one. Somebody's selling one for 50 quid just now. Oh, I think it might be a Music Man type, but yeah. I found some porn mags in the woods and an abandoned Kramer in the glory hole. I am lost. I don't know what you're talking about. I do remember seeing porn mags in the woods, so like there's no railway line going out towards Moodiesburn, and you would just see porn mags in the bushes, like pretty much the only porn mags I've ever seen. I don't know, people don't get that anymore, but the thing is now you've obviously just got the internet, so why would you ever bother with a porn mag? I think you don't get porn mags anymore. I don't know. Yeah, Stevie Zero, give Alexander a shot at an SX are fucking fine. They're kind of like, they're basically what Jim Deacon used to be. They're fine. Just don't buy an Epiphone EBO bass. Sloan Ranger, I salute you. They're fucking terrible. The Epiphone EBOs are awful. No, Stevie, stop trying to bring it back to porn. We're talking about Epiphone EBOs and how shit they are. They really are terrible. They look great, but there's so much wrong with them. There's nothing like the difference between like an EBO and whatever the Squire is. It's the same price. It's just fucking. It's like, do you want? Here, do you want an ice cream pie or do you just want a kick in the balls? That's what it's like. It's really the EBOs are fucking gash. I traded in or I put as a deposit my Aria ZZB bass in against an EBO because at the time I was in a band that were playing Beatles and Stones songs and having the Explorer shaped turquoise sunburst Aria Pro didn't really fit. And I really love my Epiphone SG. So I got my serial number on the one I had was like 98, which was the year 00000008. So it was the 8th one ever made. And it was just shocking. I mean, even I've since had another couple of EBO type things. I've actually got a 1968 EBO, which is still really strange and not like a P bass. It's not the same thing as what we now go, oh, I've got a bass. You expect a normal bass basically based roughly on a P bass sort of thing. So it kind of sounds like that. Okay, you get many different shapes and shit, but they all do what a P bass does. An EBO doesn't. It's kind of Gibson's take on trying to make because a bass guitar didn't exist when Leo Fender invented the P bass, right? There was the only bass you got was an upright. So he invented the scale length and the type of strings and the pickup, all that shit, and he got it fucking really right. The EBO sounds more like an upright bass. So it's like kind of originally it was designed for going a do 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 a do 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 a do 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 that kind of thing, like an upright bass. It's like it's a really strange thing. They're just not very good. So got an EBO bass sitting here. As the tone knob was knocked off and cost £50 of improvements. Yeah, there's you want a tone you want less treble. There's no treble at all. Stop giving me any more. No. I mean, I even got one I bought one for £15 because the neck had snapped off and I just glued it in for the Black Sabbath band. I gave it to the drummer who died, so I don't even know whatever happened to that. If anyone sees a Black Sabbath Geezer Butler black and white striped TBO, I put a jazz bass pickup in the bridge pickup and had them wired as in series to give. It sounded more like a bass, but there was so much wrong with it. It's not the 30-inch scale thing, because the 30-inch scale works really well on the wee red bass. It works well on a Music Master. It doesn't work in the Gibson one. I don't know. It's a terrible thing. An EBO, and the fact that they still make the bastards goes to show it doesn't really matter how good something is. It's just if it looks cool. You want it? Oh. But yeah, no, bass is great fun. But I mean, I don't even know if you really particularly want a small one. Hey, Ruben, how's it going? Did Gibson not do the gripper bass? That was good, I believe. I was talking about that earlier on. I think it was the grabber I saw, though. Really ugly, kind of like a double cut Les Paul, but with ugly horns. I don't know. They did one with a sliding pickup, I seem to remember as well. I think the mahogany neck is a bit big. I'd never really thought of that, Kenneth. Maybe that is why it's shit. I don't know. Obviously, the one I've got from 1968 isn't shit. It is interesting sounding, though. It doesn't really make any sense. But see if you try and play free on it. Wow! Or Slade, or anything that's played on it. It's a different instrument almost. It's like a 7-string guitar and a 6-string guitar. Yeah, they're the same. There's a slight difference, but they're not. I mean, I find even playing that thing, which I was meant to play tonight, but because I was too late, I never actually got down to it. It's a different thing you play in the 7-string. You play lots of power chords and chugga metal. Whereas that's kind of not, even though all these 6 strings are still on it, doesn't sound like this. You just take the B string off, it doesn't sound like this for some reason. It's kind of mental. Catch you later, Mr. White. I'm not going to be up much longer. It's nearly 11 o'clock, which is going to be my cut-off point. savouring this last inch of Bucky for ages now. Oh. Actually joined a punk band. It's 30 miles there and 30 miles back. Sounds difficult. I don't know. I suppose it depends on... Are you... Your house, motorway 60 mile an hour off the motorway, so it's only 15 minutes away? Yeah, well, maybe not. I don't know if I'd really want it for a... That is just a cool... Hey, Sloan Ranger, you just get called a cool chick. That's got to count for something. Off Pontiac, nonetheless. Marauder? No, it's the Gripper and the Grabber were the two that went together. The Marauder's the one that had that was like a... It was an Avon Rose Morris copy, kind of like a Telecaster Custom. Kind of like a Telecaster Custom built by Gibson, so it looked like a Les Paul, but it's kind of that funny looking. They're actually very... Now that I think about it, because I've now actually got a Telecaster Custom, it was really similar to a Telecaster Custom, considering it was a Gibson. But yeah, so Rude, take that as a compliment. You're not going to get very many. Not on here anyway. But I mean, you might as well take it. Got a cool chick. I don't know. This occasionally is Dorothy the lab skeleton, not a girl as well. It's just fact. I don't know. See, I'm kind of... I just remember I just hated punk because I didn't like punk when I was a kid, and then now punk's an awful lot, a much wider variety of music than I thought it was. I don't know. I wouldn't say I was a punk fan. A true punk lives where the drummer has set up his drum kit, sleeps with his head in the kick drum like Johnny Thunder. So there you go. I was in the car the other day and the Eagles came on the radio. The bass on the song was great. Can't remember the song, but it got me thinking. Was it Hotel California? Well, no, but it's there. You need an amp for it, Alexander. Though you need to have your wee tiny amp won't cut it. You need to have a bass amp to play the bass. It doesn't need to be it doesn't need to be something that size. It just needs to be an actual bass amp, even if it's only 10 watt or something. I mean, that I bought... It's not there anymore. It's still over at Jen's house. I bought a Roland Cube bass amp, and it's a proper bass amp. It's great. Not necessarily particularly loud. Scott's a bit of a punk. He probably gets that. You've got a punk around with a girlfriend. Yeah. I never really understood punk. Punk was always the anti. It was like kind of the mods and the rockers, and punk was the mods, and I was into Sabbath. I don't know how it works. I remember playing a football game just when we were all drunk down the park in Spam, and it was the hippies v the Neds, and obviously we were the hippies because all of us had long hair and they were all wearing tracksuits. The guys were all brand new. Some of those guys were on the Travis. Is it Travis? The Travis album was a big hit, and when you opened it up at the gatefold, and it had lots of sort of passport photos of folk, and about half a dozen of those passport photos were folk that I knew from that hippies v the Neds football team, and there only were half a dozen on each team, but all of them were in the Travis album. So there you go. Timothy B. Schmidt, he talks a bit like that. He's not Randy Mason, right? Randy Messenger. I can't remember how you pronounce his second name. Was the original bass player. Timothy B. Schmidt didn't come in until Joe Walsh. Nothing difficult. Overdrive channel on, but then off. But the lack of transport bothers me. It does. I mean, not to mock anyone who doesn't drive. It seems very difficult. I gave up giving lifts to people who don't drive. It's really difficult because they don't mind waiting 15 minutes, making you wait 15 minutes outside because, well, you drive anyway. They don't realize that you've already taken a massive detour to go and pick them up. So people who don't drive anymore, that's fine. But basically, if someone's coming to pick me up at 8 o'clock, I'm fucking ready. I'm looking out the window at 8 o'clock. They're not spending any time waiting on the street for me. Whereas if you don't drive, don't mind making you wait 15, 20 minutes. You're like, so it's kind of difficult. They don't really appreciate it. And I would obviously offer fucking, if it was a big detour for you, I'm not going to give you all the petrol for the journey, but I'll give you fucking money to cover the petrol for your 5-minute detour to come and pick me up. Kind of, it's bizarre. You're wearing a 90s Dallas Cowboys sweatshirt. Stop trying to make yourself not cool, Sloan Ranger. You're cool, you're here. I had an orange bass amp that I got with a Hofner for free, sold it for £40, wish I'd kept it now. You should have, that would have been amazing. I know, but I mean, have a look at basses. I mean, I'll give you a shot of one if you fucking want to give it a shot. I've got plenty. Basses, I mean, you just need to get one that's decent. You don't need a pure fantastic bass. I mean, it's not like other things. I mean, I did that gig playing with Sabbath, but after the end every time, just in case you didn't know. And I paid £100 for the £110 for the Fernandez, and the other bass I used was Westone Thunder, which Jen bought in a car boot sale for £30, and I fitted pickups to it. And then she painted it, and then 2 years later, I ended up with it. Those are the two gigs. I'm sitting there with £150 worth of stuff, playing through. I didn't even have an amp. I used the guy in the other band wouldn't let me use his amp, so it was like, all right, what is there? There was an amp there. It was a crate or something. I don't even fucking know. Basically like that, but not Marshall. If I'd been able to drive, I would have taken that in, and that's fine. That's all you need. So I don't think you would really have picked out me as not being as good a bass player as the guy in the other band who had his 50s Fender and his Marshall Super Watt. I'm still better playing. It's in your fingers, you know what I mean? Obviously, I know how to set them up so that they don't buzz. But apart from that, no difference. Like, I mean, lots of people who do drive is even worse. I'll change gear when I want to. Yeah, you're a girl, though, and people don't like... Women are terrible. I mean, I'm the super sexist driver. I was actually thinking the other day when I was going up to the shop, when I would go up to the Bucky shop, right? Up there, and there's a T-junction, right? And there's quite a lot of traffic going from left to right. And basically, I'm sitting there up here ready to go, 50 yards, and you go up here, I can probably go, give me a flash. No, and then you get a woman driving, cutting the corner off, nearly hitting my bumper. Okay. Just not looking at you. No, I'm not looking at you. No, I know you're waiting to get out, but I'm not looking at you. No, I'm looking over here. And I'm sorry, I'm a sexist driver, as well as being a sexy bastard. But I mean, it's like, no, it's really annoying, but they're different. I gave up. I gave up the backseat driving thing. I was working with my dad, and basically, if I looked at the road, I would just terrified. So basically, whenever I'm the passenger in a driving seat. My job is to entertain them, but I don't look at the roads if I'm driving, because if not, you're sitting there like up here. There's a guy coming out that junction up the right. Have you seen it? Have you seen that person? You're not slowing down. They're going to pull out. You're not going to slow down, and you start getting. So just don't look. Don't fucking look. You know what I mean? My dad had a Range Rover, so he's like pure amazing brakes and pure fast as fuck. And if you went into a corner too fast, it took it. Do you know what I mean? It was like pure. The Panda would have been. Was in a car yesterday, first time in a long while. Hate it. Wow. So it depends where you are. I mean, here in Scotland, we've got I suppose in Britain, we've got a pure shit public transport system. Like every other place I've ever been to has been 100 times better. In China, it was fucking amazing. Pure 5p to get on the bus. And then you got a train and a fucking tram, and it was like pure, basically I've spent £1 and I'm 30 miles away with hundreds of connections. Amazing. Here it's like fucking Oh, you want to go 300 yards? £4.50. And you can only do it every 2 hours. It's fucking terrible, man. It's an automatic. I can think better than what an automatic can. There is a J-Pax bass, but Alexander bought a guitar for 50. He's already said he's bought an SG for 50 quid and a telly for 40 quid, so he's not going to be interested in a J-Pax bass. An SXP bass does great for me when I'm bored with 6 strings and just want to piss about with it. Yes, but the thing is that, see, there's 2 ways of looking at the bass if you're a guitar player. Either you go, oh, the bass, it's a bit shit and for people who can't think and stupid people. Or you go, oh, the bass, amazing. I can play all the things that I've heard that are great on the bass, but I can't play on the guitar. So you get folk that are pure, oh, boom, ba-doo-doo, and they're kind of playing lead guitar, but it's fucking great and people enjoy it. Totally, yes. That's how you do it. You don't look at it and go, oh, I only play chords. Oh, fuck off. I'm wearing a t-shirt from Spunk Bar in Copenhagen. Smells like the underside of Mr. Swine's tarp and a packet of B&H Gold. I don't even know if there's anything that can be said for that. But I mean, rocking. I mean, Mr. Whitesnake's tarp is something that I'd imagine Mr. Whitesnake's tarp is going to be found in like 500 years' time under like a layer of ash when the volcano and fucking all that shit. And people are going to go, oh my God, there's so much genetic information on this. It's like the pure Rosetta Stone of genetic information from the humans that died out. You know what I mean? In the American Southwest, the cars rules. Public transport is shit. Came from New York City, best of the country. I don't even know. Just public transport. It's a real tough one. I mean, I had to do it for that gig. I had to fucking get the bus. And it's I don't know. Not that everyone on the bus is bastards. They're not. They're fine. But I don't know. It's amazing how you miss it. Because I grew up in Lenzie, which is only, I don't know, 2 miles from here, something like that. But there you had a main road which ran 100 yards away from my house, and there was a bus every, I don't know, 15 minutes. But I never really got the bus. I used to get the train because it was, I don't know, 15 minutes walk, and then you had the train into town. It's like pure, there was no problems whatsoever, and I was like pure in the city. Okay, still out where there's fields and it's a bit nice and you don't get stabbed all the time, but still, I could get into town in half an hour. Like, yeah, great, going for uni and going to gigs and shit like that. And then I move here, which is I'm only a mile away, and suddenly it's like, there's a bus every hour up until 10 o'clock at night, and then there's none. You're like, what? There's no option. It's kind of bizarre. The Guruk train is the best in the world. I've been on the Guruk train. Actually, I went to Guruk to go. That was the one time I got the ferry that goes from Guruk to Dunoon rather than the one that right at the start. The train ends at the big ferry terminal, not the Western Ferries terminal, which is at the end of Guruk. So I have got the bus, the train to Guruk till the end of the line. Got on the long ferry that goes from the northish, eastish bit of Guruk to Dunoon, and then my dad came and picked me up because he was in Sandbank. Or you go the other way, which is you drive round till you go past Dunoon, past Guruk, and then you get the Western ferries, which takes you to Sandbank. So it's kind of, you're looking at the map, it's kind of looking at this the wrong way. It goes like that. So it goes like that. It goes from Guruk to Dunoon, or the other one goes from the other side of Guruk to Sandbank, and it's only short. Oh. There's not like to be any trains in my town to the end of the year, thanks to the air station hotel fire. Fuck's sake. Public transport is great. You get to meet a bit. If there was more public transport that was gettable, yeah, fucking right. I mean, it's just, I think in Scotland we've got a thing where if you're under 21, you get free bus pass. Fucking yes. And over 60, yeah, don't totally go for it. If I had that when I was younger, I would have fucking used it, and I wouldn't be so pissed off with buses. The last Guruk or Weems Bay train on a Friday night is the best. Find a karaoke coach, you'd have the most fun ever. I can imagine. I remember I was talking to my pal Peg when we came back. He was at that gig. We're talking. Remember that time we went into an acoustic jam and it wasn't on, and then we ended up having an acoustic jam in the train from Queen Street to Lenzie, and it's like, oh, I remember that with bongos and fucking acoustics and everything going playing Sympathy for the Devil and some mad random guys like that around. I wish you could all come back to my house. My wife would go nuts if he did, though, but we could have a jam. He was playing the bongos and singing. Ridiculous. You could not drive in Greenock yesterday as the flooding was awful. I can't imagine. Public transport loves public demons. Every Sunday the show always goes from Quadrophenia to porn mags and finishes in Dunoon. It does seem to go that way, doesn't it? I don't know what's going on. I don't know if the porn mags are. Yeah, totally. It's just random. But that's me out of booze, and I'm going to give it up at 11 o'clock. I'm sorry if that's too little for everyone. But I keep bashing this thing, which is my thing that I use for holding the camera. And I keep bashing it, and see when you hit that, it kind of feels like I'm knocking over my bucky. It's up here. No, it's like knocking over shit. It's fine. Not much in films tonight. We've already discussed that. Oh fuck! I can't remember what film it was that said it was awesome and everyone should know. Wasn't Quadrophenia. Wasn't Flash Gordon. What was it? There was a film that I thought was amazing. Pray for me to get the fuck out of this state, ready to go. Nothing for me here but good weather. Pornophenia and Dunoon mags. Condor, man! Condor Man is fucking amazing. I absolutely love it. I've not seen it for years, but I remember buying the DVD when it came out. Condor Man. The music, I remember when I first heard Kashmir, I was like, up here. That's fucking Condor Man, because the music is Kashmir. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Bam 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 bam. Dun bam 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 bam. It's better than Kashmir. Condor Man is fucking amazing. It's Michael Crawford. It was Frank Spencer from Some Mothers to Have Him in a Disney film. And Oliver Reed's the baddie. And it's got the Proknoviach. Oh, the Proknoviach. Like fucking all drive black Porsche 911s. Chase. It's fucking amazing. Oh, what a film. Yeah. So we'll end it on Condor Man. If you haven't enough, just watch Condor Man and just imagine me when I was 10 just going, yeah! Because Condor Man is fucking amazing from the start. Pack of Shuds. Saw Condor Man at the Flicks when I was about 12. There you go. I remember it more from used to be a TV program that was called Disney Time, which was like, I don't know, about a 20-minute show, but it had like clips. It was introduced by Cilla Black, and it had wee snippets from The Rescuers and fucking Aladdin and all that crap, but it had Condor Man in it, and it was just... No, not Condom Man. That's a different film, Sloan Ranger. I'm sure there is a film called that. What was the film I saw? I didn't see it, but there is a film called Shaving Ryan's Privates, which is basically and all these things. It's like, I think I must have looked up some sort of video, Facebook thing where it was like pure porn films with amazing names, and Shaving Ryan's Privates being, I can see that. But Condor Man's fucking amazing. It's really shit. Well, no, it's not. It's really good. I'm going to watch Condor Man tonight now, actually. Because that amazing ability to just type into your preferred pirate site and watch films like that. Condor Man's one where you're just... I remember when it came out in DVD, I must have been, I don't know, 20 or something like that. I remember seeing that when I was 10. I'm going to buy that and watching it and just being in tears the whole way through it because it was so fucking awesome. Yeah, Condor Man and Krull, films you have to watch. Love you all. If you didn't like and subscribe, if you could like and subscribe, that would be awesome. And I'm going to give this up. I made it past 11, but I think maybe what's happened is I'm enjoying myself too much. Porn gives people the wrong idea about the real world. I mean, who has a builder that turns up? I don't know. I don't know. But Condor, I mean, there is a possibility of Condor Man and Condom Man being intertwined, which I'm sure would be really funny if it was just based on Condor Man. It'd be fucking awesome. I thought it was great at the time. Fucking no, I think it's great now. I mean that's why I want a black Porsche 911 with mirror windows on it, because of that bit where he fucking had. There's a piece. It was in that Disney time thing before I actually got the video out the video shop, and there's a bit where him and the gorgeous Russian girl are like dressed as gypsies and shit, driving this old horrible truck, and then the Proknoviach turn up, who are the Russian assassins, and they've got like, I think it's 6 Porsche 911s and a 935 at the front. Is that up here? The Proknoviach is up here, boom, when he pulls a lever and they sink down into the floor of this horrible truck, and then they come out in the Condor Man car, which is like a yellow fucking race thing, and then he's got like a rear view mirror and laser guns, and it's fucking amazing, and it plays the music. Also saw Flash Gordon. Yeah, it sits in the same category as Flash Gordon. Flash Gordon's got Queen in it, so it's a bit, or Queen music in it. But I mean, Flash Gordon as well, and Crash Dive in Mingo City. I mean, I'll watch that any time. I would watch Flash Gordon rather than listen to music. Whenever when I got that in DVD, the DTS surround sound mix, that was one of the things when all my pals around and we were getting drunk and shit. I'd be like, right, fucking midnight, bang, second half of Flash Gordon, here we go, and everyone be like, oh no, oh, and I'd just be like pure fucking cheering when he fucking skewers Ming at the end. Amazing. Anyhow, I love you all, and honestly, I do fucking love you all. It's great. Thanks very much. The bit in Flash when Peter Duncan pulls his hand out the log gave me, of course it did, because we knew who Peter Duncan was at the time. There's some warped people out there. Yeah, but there's nice warped and there's warped. It'll be fine. Oh, for Peter Jackson, I'd have a yes. No, the one I want's the one from it was Scotch and Rye one time, and there was a funeral directors, and it was Ricky Fulton, and he was like, he was kind of wearing a clown's wig. It was a humorous. You can have a burial at sea. And they're like, what's that? The coffin is it's only the only expensive bit is the extra money for the outboard motor, and it was basically a coffin with a 4 horsepower Yamaha on it. Fucking amazing. I want the Iron Brew coffin. A director's made. I don't know what that is. Right. Anyway, thanks everyone. I love you all, and I'll see you all during the week. And just thanks. If you don't feel appreciated, then you're wrong. You are.